true Biafran. MAZI NNAMDI uniquely brings to you, Radio Biafra live broadcast by the eminent Supreme Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The Director of Radio Biafra. And the Supreme Commander of the Armies of Biafra. MAZI NNAMDI KANU. The evening broadcast, live, and direct, on the 9th day of June, 2015. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Browse Biafran restoration websites at www.ipob.org, and radiobiafra.co. Also browse our website at www.biafran.org, to learn more about Biafra history. Visit our YouTube channel more often for the very best of Biafran videos. Enjoy it.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet. We welcome you once again to this evening edition of Radio Biafra daily broadcast. Sometimes when we can, we come to you twice every day live. When we are indisposed, we make sure we play you old broadcast or new recordings. But this very evening from here in the United Kingdom, we are transmitting to the entirety of humanity on CHK 97.6 Biafra FM for those of you within reach of that very dial. There are some of you who are within 102.1 FM, that is CHK of course, and also CHK 88.0 Biafra FM. We are designated on 3 dials on your FM band. One is 88.0, the other one is 97.6, and last but not least, and with the most extensive reach, is 102.1. That is where you get us, that is where we transmit, and that is where we will keep transmitting our effort to continue the propagation of this very gospel by ensuring the installation of relay stations across Biafra land is continuing unabated. Everything you ask us to do, we are doing. Are you doing all we are asking you to do? You are the one delaying the coming of Biafra, not us. We are ready. Are you ready? That is the question you must ask yourself and answer this very evening. But before any advent, as the barrister will say, I will welcome each and every one of you once again. I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. There are those in the far eastern part of the world, and I welcome them, especially those of them who are hardcore and dedicated. Those of them who have devoted their life, their mission to this very noble enterprise. The work we are doing here on earth was mandated by heaven. Everything we speak here is that it is given to us. We don't add anything and we do not subtract. Some people don't know what we are in for. Some of you think this is a joke. Some of you think it's just like any other freedom fighting, isn't it? But this is exceptional. This is Biafra. This is God's kingdom upon the face of the earth. Never in the history of mankind has the glory left heaven to come to earth. Only the time that Yeshua was here. We are calling down that very glory from heaven. We are saying, let thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. A very simple prayer, but very potent as well. That is why I am dead certain that Biafra is coming. Absolute. I have no doubt. My belief and resolve is not shakeable. We give you timelines and it comes to pass. We are working assiduously hard. We are dedicated. We are devoted. We are not compromising. We cannot retreat. Neither can we surrender. We get Biafra or we die getting Biafra. There is no alternative to that. Either we celebrate our freedom as a people or we are all dead. So nobody should worry at all. Biafra was ordained by heaven. Here on earth it is being preached by Radio Biafra. But I don't expect the devil, Lucifer, to keep quiet. The devil must come. Because with every good thing in life, there must be Satan, somewhere very close by. We are not an exception to this very rule. Even before Yeshua commenced his ministry on earth, the first thing he encounters was the serpent, Satan. Even when man was made in the Garden of Eden and Eve given to him as a wife, the devil came as well in the form of a serpent. There are most of you who are serpentine in your attitude. You proclaim Biafra, but indeed you're working for Satan. You are working for devil. We know who you are. We have defeated them before. We will continue to subdue them. These are the agents of darkness. They remind me of Nnamdi Azikiwe who came and said, oh, I believe in Biafra, but later on, oh, can we go with one Nigeria? They remind me of Okpa Biasika. Even if you ask Ifajuna then, if you ask him, he will tell you, oh, what I'm doing is for the betterment of our people. He fought against his own country. He betrayed his country. And he failed in the process. If you had asked Ken Seriwa in those days, he would tell you, oh, I'm doing this thing for the betterment of Ogoni people, for my people. But today, they are one of the poorest in that damnable zoological republic. Why am I saying all of this? I'm warning you that there are those answering Biafra. They are doing the work of the enemy. Awasa have sent them. Some of you are so gullible and so stupid. You are blinded by jealousy, envy, and greed that you cannot see very clearly. But here we'll let you see very, very clearly. These people will come and tell you we are doing Biafra, as if Ajana was LIKE did. But none of them can proclaim, none of them can declare with any degree of certainty their ordination by heaven. Our own is recorded in diary. How we came to do what we are doing today. Beyond every conceivable doubt, I can prove it to you that Chukwu Okike Abiyama asked us to come. That only him determined that we should come. That is why we preach this gospel in a way that the ordinary mind cannot fathom. You need to be vibrating in spirit to understand the essence of what we are doing. If you are not called out to do this very work, you cannot understand who we are or why we are here. The devil will continue to fail. They have sold you before to Awasa Fulani. That is why you are slaves today, asking us to redeem you from the mess that you're in. They have come again. Awasa Fulani. They are raising your children. They are answering Igbo names, especially Igbo. They are using them to try to distract you. They are using these very people to try to destroy the work that heaven is doing. But I welcome them. At least, they remind us of the pitfalls of complacency, if not for any other thing. Anytime there is light, it is followed by darkness. There will always be evil. Even in your body, there are some microbes in your body waiting for you to die. From the day you were born, they have been with you. They will never go into action until the day you stop breathing. Their job is to devour and to decay the skin, the flesh. That is their job. They are in your body as you're breathing. There is no problem. They are all fine and good. They are there, pretending to be normal, healthy cells. And of course, other forms of microbe or bacteria or virus, as the case may be. But their job only commences the minute you stop breathing. They go to work. Their job is to make sure that they decay the flesh and render you a meal for other lesser animals. That is what these people have come to do. If you are so stupid that they convince you, then you are finished. You will join them in oblivion, in irrelevance. Ask those who tried us before. Today they are insignificant. Totally insignificant. Greed, envy, and jealousy are part of the 3 deadly sins that Chukwuka abhor. You possess them, you can never progress. Ask any society in life. That is why Yoruba will be poor forever. Go and make your research, go and inquire. They will tell you. We are telling you this very evening because we are entering a very critical phase of our work. Our work is unending. It is continuous. We are relentless. We are formidable. Nothing is going to stop us. It is inconceivable. I am preaching this very gospel from England. We make this announcement from the United Kingdom. This very place where people are civilized but their government is cruel, very evil. We tell them to their faces. We broadcast from the zoo and we tell them how zoological they are. We are without fear before any man. It doesn't matter if your head is touching heaven. It doesn't matter how many nuclear weapons you possess. It doesn't matter if you can bribe people with the proceeds of their own natural resource. It doesn't matter how many governments you can effect. It doesn't matter how you falsify census figures. It doesn't matter how you manipulate the wish of the people. It doesn't matter who is in power. We speak the truth. Because the world will know that this is Radio Biafra. We are not like any other radio station. We are exceptional. This is Radio Biafra. We don't have sister station. We don't have brother station. Do you know the reason why? Because our Fulani is clever. They are being advised by our mortal enemies. They know who they are. To confuse as many of you stupid idiots as possible. But thankfully, they have not been succeeding and can never ever succeed. They will never ever succeed. Before they come close to us, we will pull a wonder out of the heart. It's impossible. Nobody can do what we are doing. We give you the money to go and try. We are not being arrogant. We are just being factual. You cannot do it. You'll be lucky if your cat, your dog, and your last born is listening to your voice. This is Radio Biafra. Here we make sense, here we make reason, here we admonish, here we also bring closer. Here we ensure we unite, here we ensure we move forward. Here we ensure that this kingdom we are fighting for is restored. I am not a career freedom fighter, I have won them. That was why I removed the coordinators I removed. I am not a career freedom fighter. I'm doing freedom fighting, that is rubbish. I want Biafra to come and to be able to see it. I want to command the armies of Biafra in battle and we will win. People should stop being afraid. I hate cowards in my life. I cannot stand them. Cowards make good gossipers. Cowards make very good envious and jealous people. And that leads you nowhere. The finest traitors as well in the history of humanity have always been those filled with envy, greed, and jealousy. Ask Sarawiwa and he will tell you. All these people answering to Biafra, they are being sponsored by our Fulani people. Some of you are too blind, you cannot see. Do simple research. Just scratch them a little bit, you will see who they are and where they're coming from. 1 minute they are with Buhari, telling Buhari, come and give us Igbo presidency. 1 minute they're asking you to vote for Alamajiri Boko Haram on the Awosande Fulani. The next minute they're telling you about Biafra, these are rogues. They want to tie down your conscience. They want to destroy you. The same way that Ifajino was did. But we are here and we are potent. As we are speaking this very evening, the whole world is listening. There is no part of this earth not listening to us. That is why we are formidable. Everywhere you go to, we are there. People are listening. People are congregating. They understand the truth. Why is it that when you do something wrong, your mother will flog you or your father will punish you? Why don't they bring you close and say, oh, I love you so much. Continue doing what you're doing. You are being admonished because you are foolish. If you do something right, we praise you. If you are hopeless, we will shred you, that you may learn from it. We love you more than you hate yourself. And that is why Biafra will come. That is why Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continuously and forever be part of what we are doing. And that is why we are going to succeed. That is the only thing we have done. We don't know anybody else. We don't want to know anybody else apart from Chukwu Okike Abiyama, as is written in the book of Exodus chapter 20. A friend of mine wrote to me and said, "Can you please read the whole Bible?" I said, "Yes, I have. And I can distinguish between the voice of man and the voice of heaven. The Father cannot give me instruction. Then you come and tell me that the Son said I should disobey it. You're talking nonsense. Absolute rubbish. Absolute nonsense. Again, you're talking garbage." We are also on satellite. Radio Biafra is online. If you're lost, go online and type in Radio Biafra. We'll take you everywhere. Not just our website, but also our page on Facebook, which is the largest in the whole world of its kind. We are huge and we are formidable. Very, very huge. One comment we make, nothing less than 250,000 people will see it. 250,000. In a week, we are hitting nothing less than 40 million people. That is why there is Biafra everywhere. Everything you see today about Biafra, people jumping up and down, IPOB made it possible. Radio Biafra made it possible. Everybody, this new generation, everybody now mentioning Biafra. IPOB, Radio Biafra made it possible. And how come that was the case? Because Chukwu Okike Abiyama asked us to come. He said we must preach this gospel without fear before anybody, doesn't matter who it is. Keep on preaching this very gospel. You must speak the truth all the time, regardless of who is crying and who is getting upset. You must also help those who cannot help themselves. That is why we have come to reintegrate those of them marginalized, those of them rendered destitute, those of them without hope, those of them without aspiration. We have come to build a nation capable of integrating, capable of absorbing, and capable of demonstrably proving beyond every reasonable doubt that indeed we are descended from heaven. Anything else is immaterial. Biafra will come. If Biafra doesn't come, all our effort is in vain. I don't believe in wishful thinking and dreaming. I believe in reality. And Biafra is reality, or we all die anyway. So you need not worry, because Biafra is going to come. Do as you're told, as simple as ABC. We have never failed you before. We have taken Biafra further than any other human being on this very earth. By the work of Radio Biafra IPOB, there is Biafra all over the world. We gave you, for your information, our Heroes Day. We made it possible. We gave the whole world our atonement. We only have 2 celebrations every year, or 2 remembrance, or should I say 2 solemn ceremonies every year. One is our remembrance of our heroes who fought and died for us. The other is atonement. Who made all these things possible? Radio Biafra IPOB. Wherever you go to online and you see Biafra, we made it possible. We started it all. Without us, we wouldn't be where we are today. Or should I say, without the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama in heaven, we wouldn't be where we are today. So we are entering a very critical phase of this very effort. Mind those you talk to. Be very, very careful those you talk to. The spirit of Okpa Biasika, of Ken Serewiwa, and all other betrayers, including Martin Elechi. The spirit of those that sold out our people. Ifajuna, like Owazurike, that's still with us. There are other people coming up. Awasa is fighting very hard. They are giving them money to try to float radio stations. They're giving them money to go online on Facebook. These people should be avoided. Don't say, I never warned you. I warned you before about the informants at Enugu, and it happened. I warned you about Ifajino Wazurike, and it happened. I warned you about Okorocha, it happened. I warned you about P2B, it happened. There is nobody we have ever warned you about that never turned out to be as evil as they are today. You must be very careful. Avoid these people. The zoo is helping them. Nigeria, the Zoological Republic, is helping these people. They know that that is the only way they can damage what we are doing, is by creating as many useless groups as possible. Be very, very careful. They come armed with greed, envy, and jealousy. They are working for APC Boko Haram. Go and see it is there. They have gone to congratulate Buhari. If you associate yourself with anybody who has gone to congratulate Buhari, it will not be well with you. It can never be well with you. The same way the families of those people died at the hands of Al-Majiri Awasa Boko Haram, so will your family perish. It's a curse I'm laying on you. Because you don't have consistency. When you come here, you should be consistent. We are Radio Biafra. Our group organization, our affiliation is to IPOB worldwide. We don't follow individuals for the sake of it. You must give us a reason as to why your ideology is superior. Ours is very simple. We mobilize our people, we educate them, we enlighten them, we unite them, we go to war, we fight and we win, and Biafra comes. Very simple. There is no other way. If along the line they offer us the route of diplomacy, all then well and good. But to preempt anything you're doing by presenting diplomatic route means you're a coward and you're a fool. It means you don't know the history of freedom fighting. Can you show me or name one country that got their freedom, not independence? Freedom is different from independence, for goodness sake. The zoo is independent from Britain, but Britain owns every grain of sand in the damnable zoological republic. They are not free. What they have is what is called flag independence. They are not free. That is why David Cameron can dictate who lives and who dies. They can decide when to send assassins in. They can decide which state is created. They can decide how much oil is lifted without accountability from the damnation that they themselves created. You must be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Our people are funding some of you to come out and destroy what we are doing. I welcome it because you cannot succeed. That's why I love it. As I said before, if there is no trouble, I start one. The barrister will join me very, very shortly and imminently, of course. And when it comes to me, I will bring the very eminent barrister to you as well. Wherever you are, we must, of course, pray. Because without prayer, we are wasting our time. We're not doing anything. Some people, sometimes they wonder, they say, where do they derive their courage and their strength from? And you will say, honey, can you see Nan Kenoni Igwe? Ezebube, Chukwu Kika Biama. Without him, we are nothing. Without him, we are nothing. That is why we are here today, and we must praise him. N'ihi na ọwụ ekelekwe na onye akịdị na nke ọ gwara agwa onwe ike gwọta ọzọ. Eto ya na nke o mere onwe ike mụọ ọzọ. That is why we praise him every day. If you honor and you worship him, he will even do more. And because Biafra is coming, we need to intensify our effort in submitting ourselves wholeheartedly to his will. Of course, we are fallible because we are human. But in the end, he understands the hearts of men. He knows how genuine and pure we are. That is why anything we touch turns into gold. That is why IPOB will bring Biafra. No other person, group of persons, this is impossible. They say, oh, in other places, 1 or 2 or 3, 4. Why are you mushrooming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups? What for? Oh, you want one day so we can call a meeting and say, let's unite. You start asking, you say, oh, can I be the treasurer or financial secretary? You gain relevance. You are talking rubbish. If you want to join what we are doing, go and join the nearest IPOB meeting to you. There will be no meeting. There will be no unity meeting with any idiot. Nothing stops you tomorrow from running out again and forming some garbage with a shekau, coming back and saying, let's unite. You undermine what we are doing from within. You weaken the resolve of our people, and then their very brittle confidence will be shattered. And then we'll start all over again. That type of garbage will not happen under my watch. Can never happen. We must pray. I have no other thing extraordinary to offer this evening but our heart, our body, our mind, our soul, to the glorification of your magnificence, O Chukwu Okike Abiama in heaven. Before we came, your word existed. By your spoken word, heaven and earth were created. By the words that you spoke, darkness removed itself and there was light. By the words coming forth from your mouth, man was made. By the words that came out of your mouth, so also was a helper provided. From the words that came out of your mouth, everything we know today as creation, you made all of that possible. By the same word of your mouth, you spoke that Biafra will come. These are your words. Because you made it very clear to us in the book of Deuteronomy that if we come back to you, those of us, especially those who are called by your name, if we come back to you, you will restore our inheritance. These are the words you spoke. From the beginning, everything you said have come to pass. Therefore, despite our shortcomings and limitations, regardless of what we may or may not have done, your words must come to pass. And because we anchor everything we are doing upon this promise you made, that is why Biafra will come. Because man may fail, governments may fail, weapons may fail, armaments may fail, but your words never ever fail. That is why we anchor everything we are doing upon the very special word that comes out of your mouth. That is why we are certain that Biafra is coming, because your words must come to pass. Our duty is to worship you and to praise you, not to be hypocritical. Our duty is to refrain from anything you have asked us to remove ourselves from. You gave us the 10 commandments as contained in the book of Exodus chapter 20. You made it very clear that these are your spoken words, not that of man. I am the Lord your God. You will serve no other God before me. These are the words you spoke. Man cannot change it. Nothing you created can change us from that very path. These are the words that came out of your mouth. And you said, instead of your words not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will come to pass. Therefore, when you say we should not worship any other thing, we cannot worship any other thing. That is why even Yahweh Yeshua prayed, our Father who art in heaven. He was referring to you. And we say, hallowed be thy name, because your name is holy. It is sanctified. Man cannot pronounce it. If we do, we will die. That is why we give you names of praise. Omnipotent. There is nothing you cannot do. Therefore, we ask you this evening, as always, morning, afternoon, night, depending on where we are around this world, as we congregate to worship you as we always do on this sanctified platform, Radio Biafra. We ask you to come and take pride of place in our lives. Bia will honor the name and come and be part of what we are doing. Sanctify us. Make us worthy to be called your children. Make us worthy to be called the children of the Most High. How can that be possible? How can this very wicked phase of mankind know and understand that you are magnificent? How would they know that? By giving us Biafra. In the midst and in the circumstance of every impossibility that is conceivable by the heart of man, the emergence of Biafra is an indisputable proof that you are creation. And we know you are going to do it for us. Not for our sake, but for the sake of 6 million people that died. Those that died that we may live. For the sake of your word, these are the words you spoke. Look at what you said. Don't look at us and our shortcomings. What came out of your mouth? If you come back to me, I will restore your inheritance. We have come back to you. I don't bow before any idol, both local and foreign, including Chinese made. I don't bow before anything made by man. I don't. Do you know why? Because Madhabuchi. We praise you because of what you gave to our ancestors. We honor you. Madhabuchi is impossible. Nothing born by a woman can be. Oh, my goodness me. It's a shame they don't understand. It's a very big shame they don't. Because in your adage, in the names you give your children and your towns and cities, you have the answer to every problem on this very earth. That is why Chukwukika Abiyama will bless us. That is why his kingdom will come on earth as it is in heaven. And his will also be done here. because we have prayed and we have asked for it. Because we are united in our quest in search of what is noble and what is truthful. That is why in the end, Biafra will come. Every honor, glory, adoration, adulation, every praise will belong unto his holy name, Chukwu Okike Abiama, now and forever. He said, we know how to pray, and what we're asking for will happen. You don't practice it. Through divine intervention is given to you. As you proclaim it here, without wasting time. That is why we are formidable. And that is why our enemies cannot fathom what we do and how we do it. We don't do anything special. We hand it over to heaven, not to man. Everything we are doing here is designed to bring us closer to Biafra, to take you into that promised land that heaven promised you long, long time ago. And it's going to happen. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this world. When I mean all over this world, I mean wherever you have the children of the Most High. Anywhere they congregate under this banner of IPOB, I lead them. We are the only people, you know, they say something about home and abroad. When we brought our version of redemption, we are abroad and we are at home. We are the only people capable of doing that. Are you aware of that at all? I don't think you know. And I lead them. If they are in Biafra land, if they are in the Zoological Republic, anywhere they are on this earth, I lead them. I command the 17 commanders of the army of Biafra. That's what we have, 17 commanders, and I command them. Anything we tell them to do is what they do. If we want the zoo to be burnt down to Ambonyi, we have the men. I can tell you that. And the zoo will fall. That is a promise. I direct Radio Biafra, and by his grace and grace alone, not that of man, I will serve you. I mean Chukwu Okike Abiama. I want to dance on the street when Biafra comes. I don't believe in hypocrisy. Hypocrites will come from Boko Haram APC, masquerading as Biafrans. Some of you cannot ask simple question. What are you doing with Buhari? So you don't know Buhari is part of the alliance that brought Okorocha to Imo State to Islamize us. If you're following these people, you believe in Islamization of Biafra land. Because you don't reason very well. That is why we are poor today. Because we fail to reason. Somebody working with Buhari telling you he is doing Biafra. Is that not a contradiction in terms? How is that possible? How? Very soon, I remember when they told me that Okorocha came to fight for Biafra, I told them to go to hell. Today, has that very fact spoken, not been borne out by the evidence before us? I'm sure it has. This is Radio Biafra. I must welcome all of you once again. I will serve you in truth and honesty, very diligently, of course, until Biafra comes and beyond. That is my job. That is why I was born. My father married my mother that I may be able to do what I'm doing today. This is the only sole purpose for which I was born, to make sure that Biafra comes. And after that, my job is done. Now you understand. This is Radio Biafra. I am still not able to connect with the barrister. Perhaps he is indisposed or very busy. But if you're close to the barrister, you will tell him that I have been waiting for him for the past few minutes, and I will greatly appreciate if he is in a position to join me. If the barrister can come to me, I will very much appreciate it. Before I proceed to the news headlines and accompanying news summary, if the barrister is in a position, I know he's a very busy man, of course, being an attorney at law. He is very, very busy, and I do not think he's able to join us immediately. I am rather very confident that as we progress and as we proceed, he will be able to come to us. If you're close to him, tell him that we are, of course, waiting for him. But in the absence of the very eminent barrister, please allow me to present to you this very evening, the evening of the 9th day of June in the year of our Lord 2015, with the time now standing at close to, should I say, approximately 22 minutes to 8 p.m. in the evening. I give you Radio Biafra news headline this evening and accompanying news summary. I am not tired of saying this the same way I am never tired of discussing Biafra every day. If you tune into Radio Biafra tomorrow morning, you hear one thing: Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. We have no other job. It's Biafra until Biafra comes. If you are tired of it, then go. The same way I will remind you that they listen to Radio Biafra. Once they listen to us, they go and write their headlines. They go and begin to make amendment. They begin to hide evidence. Everybody listens to Radio Biafra. They don't have to come out to say, yes, we do. I got a call from the USA to confirm to me that the highest number of listeners we have actually in the USA. So your people are listening in America, but some of them are very quiet. Some are under the bed. Some are in their wardrobe listening. Some of them are, when their wife finishes tying wrapper, they hide under it and they'll be listening. Some of them, when their wife, oh, what are you doing, darling? They say, oh, it's nothing. Oh, I'm just listening to another radio. I'm listening to music. Because here we preach the truth. Some of you may not like it, or for the name or so cause one big and as soon steady, because you cannot be us. You are not as sanctified and as blessed as we are, so you can never be us. The only thing you can do is greed, envy, and jealousy. Does it get you anywhere? The answer is no. It doesn't. And we continue our work. If you love what we are doing, go and join the nearest family to you. I have said it before, if you're a betting person, go and put your mortgage on it. Without IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, there will be no Biafra. And we have come to restore the kingdom of heaven, not to build upstairs and make money, build hotels and hostels. Somebody says he's a freedom fighter, he's building hotel, and you still allow him. You say, oh, he's fighting for you. That means you're an idiot. You're a complete fool. You see, you're not well. No wonder every 4 years you vote in the same brand of criminals. Every 4 years. Because you are foolish. You have universities since 1958 or whatever they have? No, is it 1948 or 1942? University of Ibadan. You've had universities producing professors after professors. Scientists allegedly after scientists. But you don't have good roads. Do you know the meaning of a university? Do you know why it is called Mahadum? Do you know why white people, not just white, of course, it was in Timbuktu as well. Do you know why you have that level of scholarship? No, you don't. It is so you can bring prevalent knowledge. Understand this very carefully. The essence of higher education is to bring the knowledge that is prevalent at that time to the benefit of that very generation. In other words, how would you feel if Emma Gwale discovered how one computer can talk to another and people cannot solve the internet? Does that make any sense at all? The answer is no. But by bringing internet, by bringing even ordinary Facebook to the usage and attention of the people worldwide, you are making available to this generation a superior knowledge or platform of communication that their fathers never had. Now you understand why you have universities. Some of you think university, oh, I have degree. Let's go to Winners Chapel and do Thanksgiving, and then you go and live the rest of your life somewhere around Ajegunle, smelling rubbish every blessed day. The dirtiest city in the world is Lagos, the heart of darkness. But they sell it to you as one echo, one place where you can stay in. But because you don't reason very well, you buy into that type of garbage. Why am I saying all of these things? Because yesterday I told you, it was carried by Yoruba paper, that Winners Chapel, you know, they're afraid of us. Winners, hey, when they hear it, everybody happen, also. And I will tell you why they are still running, and they will keep running. Do you know that Winners Chapel, after yesterday's news, today they produced another headline in their paper, Punch newspaper, of Yoruba paper called Punch. Now some of you buy, not knowing it's a Yoruba paper. Do you know that? And I'm telling you. Today, they are saying that the Christian Association of Nigeria solicits food for Oshun workers. Yesterday, it was Winners Chapel. They themselves wrote it. But because of the way we hammered Winners Chapel, they have changed it now to Christian Association of Nigeria. Who says we're not powerful? Do you see how we make editors of newspapers in the zoo change their mind? Why? Because they even listen. They know we speak the truth. Yesterday, it was Winners Chapel pastor, if you remember very well. Olatum BCE, whatever rubbish is called, Emmanuel. The pastor at Osun State. Yesterday, they were saying Winners Chapel members should feed Osun workers. Today, they have changed it to Christian Association of Nigeria, trying to give the veneer of some kind of collectivity or unism amongst those of you that attend different denominations in Christendom, coming together to feed Osun workers. But yesterday, it was just Winners Chapel. But because of the way we slaughtered them live on air, Radio Biafra, those of you saying that we are adversarial in our approach, those of you saying that the way we do things is confrontational, because you need the truth, Ezioku, because we've spoken it, they are now on the run. No longer Winners Chapel, but Christian Association of the Zoo. That tells you all you need to know, that when we speak, they listen. When I tell you everybody listens, I know what I'm talking about. I am not joking or pretending. This is Radio Biafra. You will tell your grandchildren about it. Don't worry about that. Because you wish we lived forever. I'm telling you. This is, remember, Radio Biafra. All these WhatsApp people, they are sponsoring some of you to change our name. Biafra Radio, Radio Biafra. All this, not our name is simply Radio and Biafra. Awasa is now encroaching, trying to confuse some of you. They are saying, when they confuse you, they say, oh, but why don't we unite? We are also a group. But they are answering Igbo names, Awasa people. They want to come in to understand what we are doing so they can destroy it from within. So you think we don't know all of that nonsense? Keep being sponsored by Awasa Fulani. They have formed so many radio stations trying to pretend they are us. Until you listen to them, then you know there is a difference between imitation and the original. Christian Association of the Zoo are the ones now asking for food for Osun workers. Yesterday it was Winners Chapel, but we have slated them and they have decided to run away. They have run, but they cannot hide. We will analyze this news later. We must continue. Of course, we need to. Ghana is now seeking $15 billion over 10 years to close infrastructure gap. This is why I castigate Africa. All the time, they are seeking $15 billion over 10 years. This is the amount of money that only permanent secretary can steal from a state. A whole country like Ghana is looking for ordinary $15 billion to plug infrastructure gap. But when did it become independent, Ghana? In 1958. There is no infrastructure since 1958 to the year 2015. And when I say things about black people, they say I'm castigating them, I'm insulting them. Since 1948 up until now, you are still begging for money for infrastructure. The ones you had were just non-existent. The money was stolen, frittered away, black people banking it abroad. And somehow you want Chukwukika to bless you. Let me also give you one more secret why we are being blessed about what we do. We don't have any money. We don't. You cannot have the leader of a country who is richer than that very country that they claim to be presiding over. Typical African disease. And then you expect things to work for you. You are insane. Ask if Fajino was rich why he fell from grace and he will tell you. He became richer than the group he claims is leading. That makes you a thief and a criminal. A typical black monkey from Africa, of course. You must be. Ghana is asking for paltry 15 billion. Do you know how much Fashola ran away with? Fashola left office having borrowed 142 billion naira that Lagos state government will pay. Ask Fashola, where is the money? This is the Fashola that Obiageli Ezekwesili, the harlot, is campaigning for to be the president of the zoo. That tells you the caliber of elites you have. No wonder they're afraid of us. I've said to them, come, let us debate. And they keep running. And they will continue to run because they represent darkness, they represent evil. They are from the damnation and abomination known as the Zoological Republic. Ghana is begging for ordinary Africa without shame. I want to understand it, As I said before, I no longer blame Michael Jackson. No, Michael Jackson tried to do shin on his hair. He called his hair. He tried to do bleaching cream. He started in his nose. I no longer blame him. I don't blame him at all. With the level of stupidity I see in black people, their reasoning capacity, how they utilize their brain is what worries me. Somebody is a thief. The same Obasanjo was in power before, did not do anything, came back again to contest, and people said he's their president. He is still wielding power till tomorrow morning, and people are comfortable with it. Oh dear me. Go in America and let them find one thing. Do you know that every governor's office in America has an ethics person that is there to keep warning the governor about what is ethics, or what contracts to sign and not to sign, what represents conflict of interest? Have you ever heard Zoo newspaper before report conflict of interest, that a governor or a senator did something that may not be, illegal at the face of it, but represents confusion in the minds of the people, leading to conflict of interest? No, you don't hear about that. Do you? You don't. Baboons and monkeys. Fighting Boko Haram, the zoo gets unconditional support. We didn't start hearing this rubbish today. Let me also remind some of you ill-educated monkeys and baboons called Nigerians. Russia could not defeat these people. Even the whole of USSR could not defeat them. That time they were called Mujahideen. Do you know that a whole NATO, the whole of NATO went into Afghanistan? They did not defeat the Taliban. America was in Iraq after the fall of Saddam Hussein. It was this band of terrorists that chased America away. America ran away from Iraq. Today, they are ravaging Iraq. They are ravaging Kurdistan and also Syria. Are you aware of that? Have they been defeated? These are the people that made their pact with Boko Haram. Today, Somalia is a lawless, useless backwater that should be relegated to, I don't know, not just history. It's a very useless place. Do you know why? Because of Islam. Islam is there. And they have come. And you're telling me that people that NATO could not defeat, people that the might of Soviet Union could not crush, that you, the most cowardly, the most corrupt army in the whole world, backed up by the most corrupt police force, you're going to defeat Boko Haram? When the person who is in power now is actually the chief sponsor of Boko Haram. People are fools. But I don't blame you. You are black. You are reasoning exactly how a black person should reason. Which means, after all their pondering, it comes to zero. If you go to any town now in the zoo, oh, there is no light. Oh, this mosquito. Tomorrow they complain. Next day they complain. But have you done anything about it? The answer is no. But they'll keep complaining. That tells you they are black. These are black people. That's the way they are. And they never reason very well. What you are supposed to do is to say, who are we going to get to represent our interest that mosquito may no longer bite us? But the brain of a black person is not that advanced, is it? No, it is not. I'm sorry to say this, but it is true. It is not that advanced. And that is why we have come to make sure that you can reason like human beings, not like monkeys and baboons. They said they get unconditional support. NATO could not defeat them. How can you, a baboon and a monkey, defeat them? Is not possible. Not possible. We must continue. Listen very carefully, please. 5 northern states, by which we mean the Mohammedan Emirates of the North. That was the original name. Some of you see, I told you that even Hausa is a sphere of influence and language, so also is Fulani. Because when the white man came, he had a name for them. They were known as the Mohammedan Emirates of the North. For your information. Today, they have ganged up 5 of them. They said they spent 30.4 billion on security in 2014. 30.4 billion on security. So you spent 30.4 billion on security, and there is kidnapping. The police are just a branch of, is a legal armed robbery unit. They are thieves, police, zoo police that are basically criminals in uniform. There is Boko Haram. So what exactly did this 30 billion achieve? The answer is zero. Why? Of course, they are black. What do you expect? These are black people from Africa. What do you expect? For progress, you must be dreaming. The zoo looks for buyers as China ignores their oil. I told you in the year 2014 that the zoo will fall. It will crumble. Not by our own making. Chikwa Abiyama says the zoo must come to an end because of the suffering of the children, we Biafrans. And the zoo is falling. You know, some of you, we want our oil. We are for resource control. You know, some of these idiots that said militants, they are doing resource control, and they are useless people. Because I told them, because you are not educated. You're not well read. If you have been following the trend and all the legislation, in fact, if you look at Obama's speech when he came into power, he said he wanted to make USA dependent on USA oil, not on Arabs anymore, so they can no longer be blackmailed. He was right. And he has done it. Nobody wants to buy the zoo oil anymore. Even China is saying they don't want to buy it from the zoo. Why do you think that is the case? Because this is to prove to the so-called Naija Delta that all this nonsense about crude oil is rubbish. You are going to remain a slave forever. Nobody wants to buy it. So you don't know. Why do they can no longer pay teachers? When I say the zoo will fall, the zoo is even going to collapse economically. But of course, they can sustain it anyway because you're black people. Even if you've been sleeping on a mattress before they say you should sleep on the hard floor, you will do it without complaining because you're black. So the only reason why the zoo can survive this economic meltdown is because we are black people. We take every rubbish that comes our way. It's only natural, isn't it? Are we not from black Africa? Useless indeed. We are useless. The zoo looks for buyers as China ignores the crude. Here we educate you. I don't feel sorry for myself. You know, people say, the way he talks to us, but here one man. Is there light in your village? No. Do you have running water? No. Do you have good roads? No. Are you a graduate? Yes. And then you're a baboon or a monkey. You're foolish. So you are an engineer in the house leading to your father's the road into your father's compound. There is no road. There is no drinking water. But that same village, if you bring in white Europeans to that village, without any help, they will engineer water from somewhere. There will be water running everywhere. Do you know how I knew this? In my own village, there is a school called Trinity College. It was founded by the Church of Missionary Societies, the CMS. It used to train pastors or priests for Anglican Church, for Methodist, for Baptist, for Igbo Church, all these affiliate churches. Do you know that? In my own village, in Afaruku, in fact, is the Nokolaga, Trinity College. Do you know the funniest thing is this, my dear people? When the white people were there, they managed to go to Iyo Banelu. They managed to pump water from a spring to supply the school. And now, surprise, surprise, as soon as the white people left, everybody started to climb the hill in a bucket to go and fetch water. Tankers started to supply water to overhead tanks. That is black people for you. Very sad indeed. I am more interested in the type of ignorance that would have allowed the deterioration of the pumping machine to the point whereby people studying for priesthood will now be descending down a hill to go and fetch water in a bucket. Rather than when the white people were there, they were pumping water very freely. That is why I said, any day you stop feeling sorry for yourself, you begin to see clearly. I don't believe in that emotive nonsense. You shouldn't say that. Try to hold your up. I will leave you a die war. You fall and perish. I hate ignorant people. Can't stand them. Do you think that those that built the world are ignorant people? Is Bart Naji an ignorant person? So imagine that Bart Naji decided, or Emma decided to, all they have in their brain, they keep quiet. Or Chinua Achebe decided not to write. Or Chimamanda said, no, I'm not going to write. All these things, they will be in my brain. Will you benefit from their work? The answer is no. So think very hard and change and be like a human being. Think, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stand up like a human being and be counted. 600 million monthly security votes. Zamfara state governor, not sincere. Everybody is a thief. 600 million gone missing. Welcome to the zoo. The amount of money they're stealing is beyond comprehension. Everybody is a thief. And then they want you to feel sorry for them. Oh, please, can you not call us monkeys and baboon? Okay, then which animal are you? Which animal are you? Millipede? Ndiara. Tinubu deploys Sahara Reporters, The Nation, and Premium Times to rubbish Saraki, of course, Yoruba. They have a chain of media. Their work is to attack simultaneously from all angles at the same time. But the only institution that destroyed all of them is Radio Biafra. They can't come close to us now. And if you disturb us too much, we tell you who you are. We tell you who you are. They don't do that nonsense around us. They can now we can afford. You can be doing that type of rubbish with people around you. You don't bring it close to us. If you come close to us, you'll be put in your place. BBC na boss or Kwano Muokoko. Let's continue. Explosion rocks EJ Ododo as vandals destroy oil pipe. Please continue the destruction of the pipelines. Continue, please. The more you cripple the zoo, the better. ISIS kidnapped 88 Eritrean Christians from people smuggling caravan in Libya. Eritrean Christians kidnapped by ISIS. You know what is going to happen to them. The beautiful looking girls will be married off to them in their harem, in their harlot quarters, and the men will be beheaded. And then you're clapping for Buhari. Buhari that came. Buhari opened his mouth. Black people are so useless. Buhari said with his mouth, I will not stop until I see Islam everywhere in the zoo. Some people actually went and voted for him and they said they're Christians. Do you see how foolish black people are? Oh my goodness me. In this UG. APC rejects Saraki as Senate President and Speaker because he's not from the core Awasa land. Senegalese spiritualist allegedly stops Buhari from moving into Asorok. Even the man that claims he's from Allah, from Muhammad, is also not able to move into Asorok. So where is he living and who's paying for it? Welcome to the zoo. Can you imagine the president of America moving into White House, but running the useless place from his house? You know, of course, now you understand why we are animals in Africa, black Africa especially. I don't feel sorry for myself. And we don't beg anybody to listen. If you don't want to listen, you go back to your blackout, go back to your mosquito biting, you go back. You cannot even eat properly outside. House fly everywhere, perching on your food like Yoruba, polluting everything that they touch. Because you don't want to hear the truth. You believe in all that nonsense. Oh, let's unite as one. You don't have any brain. Without competition, you would not have been born. Before your mother gave birth to you, all the other eggs surrounding that particular womb had to die to give life to you. You were competitive. You were number one. That is why you were born. Even when twins are being born, one is born before the other. It is competition. If you remove competition, life will be meaningless. Without competition today, you will not even have the laptop or the computer or the iPad or whatever nonsense that you have. Do you know that? Why is it that only the competitive countries of the world are advancing? Why won't you allow competition in black Africa? Oh, let's unite. We are one. Who told you that rubbish? We are not and can never be. Go and compete with each other and be the best you can be. The only thing that brings out the best in you is competition. Why are you afraid of it? We are not. That is why every opposition we crush. And I love it when we crush them to pieces. Grind. I'm being honest with you, I love it. It is a test run of what we are going to do to Awasa Fulani. Because we will win. Then write it on a piece of paper and the date and the time. We will win. And when we do, I will come and tell you, I told you we will win and we won. Biafra is coming. That is nothing. Nobody can stop it. Britain can come and ring fence the whole of Biafra land with their nuclear arsenal. They can't stop Biafra from coming. So Jugu was actually right that no force can stop Biafra. Only this time around we are prepared to die. With everything that comes into our land, we will kill it. Because we're not fighting for somebody else's land, it's our own. Orient Petroleum Refinery, Nupeng, sues for peace between Kogi and Anambra. Orient Petroleum Refinery, Umunabo, a gala, and of course, the seat and the home of everything that is Biafran. Aguleri, Umuleri. They are fighting over refinery. Who owns Orient Petroleum? I ask you. Ibeto is the man, the conduit who is the one that moves the oil up and down. Obambala River and then into River Naija. to where they suck the oil and they take it away. Ibeto has that contract. Who owns Orient Oil? Peter Obi, Emeka Anyoko, Goodluck Jonathan. So Peter Obi, the reason why you went into power as governor was to go and explore oil in Aguleri. Oh dear me. And he loves you. This is the man that killed your children, your sons. That was the day I knew that Owazurike is a complete imbecile, if not a child of Satan. Over 80 MASOP members were killed and dumped into a Zoo River. Of course, he could come out and say some of them were kidnappers. It's understandable. After all, they started kidnapping. He ran away from it because Peter Obi said to him, if you come out and speak, I will tell the world that these are kidnappers. I will show them the record and they will tie them back to you. The idiot ran away, never said a word. Peter Obi is the owner of Orient Oil together with Goodluck Jonathan and Emeka Anyoko. Because the wife is Yoruba. He doesn't come home, does he? No, he doesn't. He lives in Abuja and Lagos. Welcome to Igbo land indeed. Igbo land. Orient Oil, the NUPENG is saying they're swinging for peace. APC leader senators, peace meeting ends abruptly. Buhari was absent. Welcome to the zoo. They will continue to fight themselves because they're animals. They are now revolting against Buhari as well. And they're saying the PDP is orchestrating it. Sometimes bringing this type of news to the attention of the world is quite disgraceful. I don't like it. I will use 100 million naira monthly security vote to provide rural communities in Nasarawa with water, according to Marco. They give them security vote, they call it, which is pocket money for the governors, for information. Security vote means spend as you like. It's pocket money. He said, I will use it to provide drinking water to communities. At least he's saying, he's making sense. He has conscience. But he will give that money to a contractor. The contractor will pocket the money and say, to hell with all of you. That is why most contracts are never, ever completed. Do you ask yourself why? Because there is the permeation of corruption across every strata of society. Everybody is a thief. If I was a foreign government or whatever, once you say you're a Nigerian, I'll put you straight into prison. Heaven knows. I don't care who you are. You go straight to jail. Then we'll process you from jail because you're a thief. If you're a Nigerian, you're a thief. The news in greater detail this very evening. The time now is 5 minutes past 8 p.m. here. Because this evening we are going to take as much of your calls as possible. Barrister is indisposed. When he comes to me, I will go to him, of course. You know, yesterday it was the Winners' Chapel in Osun State. Do you know what I'm writing today? At least the fear of Radio Biafra is the beginning of wisdom. Because I said, you can write whatever rubbish you like. You can say whatever nonsense you want to say. Remember, in the morning and in the evening, there will be Radio Biafra. And may heaven help you. Because we'll shred you to pieces. Using facts and evidence. We judge you by what you say. We don't say or impose something or quote you. No. By the things that come out of your mouth, we judge you. Yoruba think they're smart. No, they are not. Some of them are good, admittedly. Some have called to say what they're saying about us. Some of us are very good. Grudgingly, yes. Because on the balance of probability, you cannot get 100% of the people being evil at the same time. So we can say some of them are, can I say, 1% good is in them. That's the objectivity if you want one. The Christian Association of the Zoo has appealed to church leaders in Osun State to rally food and money to assist Osun State civil servants which are going through hardship because of delay in payment of the salaries for the past 7 months. Yesterday, this same newspaper, Yoruba paper, they reported, because here we blog, we don't write, because if we write it, you know, you won't believe. You say, oh, they have concocted stories, so we leave it for others to write, not us. We blog it. Honestly so. Yesterday, we reported from Punch newspaper that Winners' Chapel in Osun State is asking their members to donate food and money for their, I said here, Yoruba workers. All of, because of course, they will say Osun workers. They will not say Yoruba workers. Who is in Osun? Is Yoruba now? Who are you going to employ a civil servant in another state? The answer is no. So those in Osun is a Yoruba land, is Yoruba people. So having asked Winners people all over the zoo to bring money to Osun State to help Yoruba people, we reported it here on Radio Biafra. Yesterday, go and check. And I want, because of the much news that we receive, I want Oge Azike, who is my news hunter, sent me that very link yesterday about is part of the news he sent to me yesterday. He sent it to me about Osun State and Winners Chapel. You will see Punch newspaper. They wrote it yesterday. Maybe as they're hearing this now, they're panicking. They may go and take the thread down, isn't it? See how powerful we are. Today they have changed it. They have said, oh my goodness me, how come Radio Biafra got onto this thing? They are saying now, all these Yoruba churches, it is right that Yorubas are collecting money from other people and feeding Yoruba people. But of course it's true. So they now change it to Christian Association of Nigeria. So you cannot blame them. If Yoruba journalists are running from us, who are these idiots being sponsored by our Fulani people? Who are they? I told you before that only radio. I ain't got to anymore here. When we are coming, they were running away. I told you that before. Are they not running? Are they not running today? I was not here. They're running now, aren't they? I told you they will run. Why are they running? Because we are truthful, honest, sincere, and transparent. They can see that very well. They know we are incorruptible. Whiter than white and whiter than snow. Here in the UK, we file our accounts with Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. For your information, there are idiots saying, oh, they registered IPOB, they registered Radio Biafra. Is it your mother who will register? You know, people are so foolish. You want us to run a credible outfit that the world will respect, and you don't want us to be legal about it. You are insane. So they will say we are a pirate radio station in England. You are mad. We are registered, and very soon we'll file our report, of course, our annual accounts with Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Don't you know that? That is why I say we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. If you don't know, let me tell you. Do you know what happens in the UK when they audit your account? You submit your statement of account to your accountant. They don't want to hear any story. Where do you get money from? They want to see it. You have to give in your account statement. They think we are joking. When we say we are incorruptible, we are. Because our statement of account is with Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs for last year. This year, we're about to submit this year's one. Nobody can compete with us, can they? We are transparent. If you go to company's house and you pay them, I think it's £1, they can give you our accounts and you have a look at it. It's called Radio Biafra, RBL Management Services Limited, which is Radio Biafra London. Of course it is. Incorruptible. Beyond corruption. Here we are making Yoruba to be on the defensive. Hana also, and they will keep running. If you open your mouth and you lie, we shred you. Yesterday, it was Winners Chapel in Osun. Today, what is it? Today, it is now Christian Association of the Zoo. Do you see how they are running? Do you see how they are running? I ask you. Do you see how they are running? We told them. We told them. And they will run. Let's continue. The chairman of CAN in Osun State, Reverend Elisha Ogundiya, no more Winners Chapel. No more that Reverend Pastor Emmanuel. It is now Elisha Ogundiya. Said this in an interview with journalists in Osogbo today after meeting the executive committee of CAN in the state. Oh dear me. I told you so, didn't I? Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you today is Tuesday? That news I reported it yesterday being Monday. Today is Tuesday. They are panicking. The fear of Radio Biafra and this truth is the beginning of wisdom. At least now they know what they're doing. All of a sudden, they are trying to say, oh my goodness me, let us not making it a Winners Chapel issue anymore. Because Radio Biafra will tell people that we are contributing money for Yoruba again. So let us make it Christian Association of Nigeria. That's what I've done. So what changed from yesterday to today? What changed is that we spoke the truth. Let us continue. This is Radio Biafra, of course. If you're joining us for the very first time, we are welcoming you. We are live and we are direct. And the whole world is listening, including Obama. Now you believe me when I tell Obama listens to Radio Biafra. We speak the truth and they know it. Do I feel sorry for black people of my village or for Igbo speaking people? I don't give a damn. If you do something praiseworthy, we praise you. If you misbehave, we shred you. Simple as that. We don't have friends, we don't have enemies. Just stay on the path of truthfulness. That is all we're asking for. And then we are friends for life. Deviate one day, it doesn't matter who you are. And you are out. You're poor. We don't take nonsense. Ghana requires some $15 billion per annum over the next decade to plug a gap in its infrastructure, according to the Vice President Kwesi Amisa Arthur. He said this on Tuesday. His name is Arthur, Arthur. Is a Celtic name from Wales, of course. It's a Welsh name, so to speak. It's Celtic. Let's put it that way. He's answering Arthur. I don't know if there's any Welshman answering Kwesi. The answer is no. The stupidity of black people indeed. Keep copying other people's names, towns. After all, we have Port Harcourt. You ask an average person, where are you from? From Port Harcourt. You ask him, do you know the man called Harcourt, where he's from? He doesn't know. Is Harcourt your father's name? No. Do you know who he is? No. But what is your name? I'm from Harcourt. I'm Okonoji answering L.C. White from Buguma. L.C. White. I understand the meaning of more culture, but not Mr. White. I don't understand that. We must continue, please. He spoke after flooding in Accra last week, exposed problems with creaking public services in the area, a capital of a city that was independent since 1948 that is still flooding. Why is there flooding? Because there is no proper drainage or sewage system. Before you build any big city in the world, you must first of all build a drainage system underneath, a sewage system to carry all the waste away to water treatment plant. Simple logic, simple town planning. A capital of a city in Africa doesn't have it. That's why you have flooding. And they have universities. They have graduates. Africa is a joke. Let's continue. We must continue. Of course, we need to. As the zoo moves its military headquarters to the northeastern town of Maiduguri, the terrorist-in-chief, Mr. Buhari, and also a pedophile. He's a terrorist and a pedophile. The terrorist and pedophile Buhari has now gained pledges of help from the G7. The zoo spokesman, Garba Shehu, has just returned from the G7 meeting without Chibika Meji, the Awasa slave. The Ikwere Awasa slave. I told him they will abandon you. They abandoned the idiot. Ask him where he is now. You don't listen. You want to serve Awasa Fulani. You come back in disgrace. He described the support as total and unconditional. The support they gave to him. And can somebody tell this Awasa Fulani Al-Majri? Speaking for Boko Haram, and of course, because if you are speaking for Buhari, you are speaking for Boko Haram. These are Boko Haram members, all of them. Can you tell him that Europe made a commitment to Africa? There's something called the Millennium Goal. Tell them they made a commitment to eradicate poverty in Africa. Nothing happened. Tell them they made a pledge to eradicate diseases and they're bringing us Ebola. Let them understand that the promise they gave to him is mere nonsense because they need to sell their weapons and Boko Haram will provide a willing buyer. Let them understand that having abandoned Christianity, because most European governments and their people no longer believe in Christendom. Do you know that? They're not Christians anymore. Because they're not Christians, they want to experiment with Islam. You know, they love experimenting. This is the only place in the world where a man can be married to a woman for over 30 years. One day, he'll get up and say to the wife, I now fancy a man. I want that thing I've been trying with you. I want to go and try it with a man as well. Now, they are tired of Christianity. They want to go and try Islam. So Islam can kill everybody. They don't give a damn. That is why there is no help or support coming. Very simple, isn't it? If you understand it. That is. We must continue. They said they are giving them support. This G7, are you not members of NATO? Yes, you are. And have you defeated ISIS? No. So you didn't hear that ISIS and Boko Haram are now one, that they are coming. They signed even formal agreement. Abubakar Shekau handed over the whole of the Islamic Caliphate of the North to ISIS. Are you not aware of it? You are. Do you also know that Al-Qaeda gave the former vice president of the zoo, Atiku Abubakar, according to CIA, not Radio Biafra, money to go and spread Islam? Are you aware of that? No, maybe you don't know, but we're telling you now. Do you also know that Buhari's mission is to bring Sharia everywhere? No. Do you know that before a terrorist kills himself, he will shout, Sai Buhari? Are you aware of that? The same way that in other places they will say, Allahu Akbar, before they kill people. Now it is Sai Buhari. Or is it? It's a Sai, isn't it? You don't know all these things, do you? But some of you are listening to Radio Biafra this very evening. You're wasting your time and your money. Islam has come to the zoo to stay. You are about to help Boko Haram accomplish something that Othman Danfodio never accomplished. Something that even Queen Amina of Zaria could not accomplish. Something that those before them could not accomplish, which is to Islamize the only place left on this very earth where there is no Islam. In our two cousins, Israel, there is Islam, fighting them even for the Temple of Solomon that Solomon built. In Ethiopia as well, they're encroaching very seriously. Even where we come from in their far region, they are there already. Encroaching big time. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know. There is only one place on this earth where the children of heaven reside and there is no Islam. That place is Biafra. And we want to keep it so. We want to keep it so. If you don't know, we are prepared to die to defend it. Very soon, the war will start. Don't worry about that. Very soon. If they are sensible, they give us Biafra, isn't it? If they are not, we will decimate the zoo. Complete destruction of the zoological republic. Complete. 5 northern states. By northern states, they mean our Safolani, Alamajiri, Boko Haram territory. This year, they will spend 30.4 billion naira. But where is the money coming from? All this trillion, billion, million being stolen, being siphoned, being, helping them to buy their hotels like the Kapinski that is in Dubai Mall, owned by Atiku Abubakar. Have you ever asked yourself, where is all this money coming from? And I will tell you this evening, it's coming from Biafra land, from southern Biafra to be precise. All over Biafra, there is oil. From the north, of course, Aguleri is the north of Biafra, all the way to Eleme in the south. Oil everywhere. And Uguta in between. There is oil. This oil is what is fueling the extravagance, the Alamajiri lifestyle of Boko Haram, Hausa, Fulani North. And rather ironically, which is quite perverse, you see, rather ironically, it is the same oil money from Biafra land that is the driving force and impetus behind the Islamization of the same Biafrans. I will repeat. Boko Haram is getting their armaments from the proceeds of oil. Oil occurring in Biafra land, being taken forcibly, of course, by Hausa Fulani at the behest of the British. The same money that Buhari used to give Boko Haram and some of their leaders to buy weapons to Islamize us. Isn't that very ironic? And what are we doing about it? There are some people saying, I'm from Niger Delta, I'm from South, I'm from Efik State, I'm from Ibibio State. And they remind me of a zoo graduate. Their eyes are open. Islam is coming. They can see it. And they know that the only way to defeat Islam is by coming together as one and forming a ring of steel and circle around themselves. They can't do it. They are paralyzed by greed, envy, and jealousy. Meanwhile, they are not upset with the Awasam and taking the oil. That is what I find strange about Niger Delta mentality. They are never upset with the Danjuma that owns an oil well that he sold for nearly $5 billion. No, they're not upset. That is what I find astonishing about them. Instead, they say an Igbo man is their problem. Hey, Iberibe warrior, stupidity. Some of you from Niger Delta, I feel sorry for you. Other people are ignorant. I think yours is even worse. Worse it is. 5 northern states are now spending 30.4 billion of Biafran oil money. They say they're going to use it to provide security. The figures which are contained in the 2014 budgets of the affected states and facts disclosed by some of their officials showed that Adamawa and Borno states will spend more on the sector this year. Adamawa, what do you produce? I can tell you what Anambra brings to the Federation of the Zoo. Adamawa, can you name one contribution you have made to the national purse of the zoo called Nigeria? It's a simple question. You are budgeting to spend billions coming from Biafra land. How much do you contribute to the national budget? I'm waiting for an answer. The answer is 0. Can you see cheating before? This is the type of cheating that the British love. They love people cheating people. I am asking you, can anybody go and rack their brains and tell me what Sokoto State contributes to the national coffers of the zoo? 0. Oh, sorry, I do apologize. They contribute Quran and the Sharia law. Everything else comes from Biafra land. When they are not making money from Biafra land, Biafran businessmen in Lagos are paying them taxes and paying them levies to Lagos. When that is not happening, almost 90% of every import into the zoo is being done or undertaken by a Biafran businessman or trader. So basically, Biafra is the one funding the whole of the zoo. I will ask you again, can anybody tell me what Sokoto State brings to the national purse of the Zoological Republic? The answer is 0, nothing. But they have, but you pay the Sultan of Sokoto, don't you? Yes, is the answer. Okay, you pay him. From which money? From whose money? Don't you know that oil block we have in Ebema? Oh, in Okreka. You can't see the oil there. It belongs to one Awudu Atahilu. They sell it and then they spend the money on themselves. Okay, how about the people in all these areas? How are they being paid? They will tell you, don't be silly. How can we pay you? You are our slave. Bayelsa oil belongs to Jigawa. Don't you understand that? And then you go to these places and you say to them, only Biafra can save you. They're telling you, no. Let us see if we can have resource control and restructure the zoo to a federation. Useless people. We must continue. I hate stupid people, you know. I can't stand them. And the thing about stupidity is that you keep on feeling sorry for yourself. You know, every time you're so sorry for yourself. Get up and do something. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Yoruba media was against us for years. Dominated our lives for years. We did not sit down and keep crying and praying for them to help unburden the load that we are carrying. We said the best thing to do is to go and teach our people that what Yorubas are doing is wrong. And that is why we are where we are today. From nothing, for your information. We didn't just fold our hands and be crying and hoping that they are kind to us. You make them become kind to you. You force them to be kind to you. They're spending your money and you're busy washing plate and doing security guard abroad. Amazing stuff. And you say you have sense and you're a sensible man, you're intelligent. No, you're a moron. I'm telling you. The zoo looks for buyers as China ignores their crude. The zoo has a lot to do to woo buyers following the decision of China to ignore crude oil from the Zoological Republic. This is happening at a time when the zoo has become the biggest casualty of the rising United States shale oil production. China is the second largest consumer of crude oil in the world, and when it does not figure at all as one of your regular buyers, you know you have a big problem. But there are Chinese constructing roads, you know, that are being paid. But they cannot buy the oil in return. Shame. That is Julius Berger building road and with contract for life. Julius Berger is from Germany, building roads, contract for life. They are paid in crude oil, so Germany doesn't actually need to buy your crude because Julius Berger is bringing as much crude as possible to sustain the economy. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know. But we're telling you. People wonder, how do you know all these things? Because we are learned. We went to school. And the school also went through us, both ways. We believe in demonstrating what we have learned. Not just saying, I have certificate. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And we are not accidental freedom fighters. Some of you came into freedom fighting because maybe you tried for British papers, it didn't work for you. Maybe you were selling okra, onions, and also. They came for your papers and you thought, maybe if I do Biafra, they will give me paper. It didn't work out for you. You were deported. And they started to ramble about Biafra. That is not Biafra you're doing. You're an opportunist. I started doing Biafra since 1995. Ask them and they will tell you. Let's continue. China being the second largest consumer of crude oil. If they don't talk to you, then you're finished. The EIA noted that China, EIA I believe is the energy, what is their name again? What is the meaning of EIA? You know, they have all these useless acronyms here that they don't bother to explain. The EIA noted that China also has a lot of complex and sophisticated refineries that can still produce middle distillates by distilling heavy crude oil, making the refineries more better margins. China is introducing new technology because they're educated in China. In China, they send their best and their brightest to good schools. After studying, they come out and they practice what they have read. But when it comes to Africa and black people, they don't, after studying, you remain abroad. Most of us were guilty of it. I told my friends when we graduated from now London Metropolitan, I said to them, 5 of us, can we just go to a poor African country and put into practice all these things we've been saying here and debating for 3 years in university? They said no. Once we finished, one said, I'm a manager now at Marks and Spencer. The other one said, I'm managing. Everybody ran away. The other one said, I'm going for my PhD. And that was it. We never actually stuck and delivered on what we said we're going to do. These are black people for you. Chinese, European, Japanese, Australian, everywhere else in the world, including Brazil, South America. People finish studying. They use what they have learned to develop their society. Our own, because there is no running water in your village, there is no good road. Instead of you to say, how do we build it and how can we improve the lives of our people, you prefer to stay abroad. To work for white man or pink or yellow or indigo, depending on your preference. And then you want me to regard you as a human being. No, you are not. If you want me to respect you, I want when you invite me to your father's village, not just your light with the generator. Everybody will have light. Everybody will have running water. People will live in decent homes. Mosquito will be biting them and they can feed properly. Then I'll have respect for you. Until then, if you like, be the finest scientist in the world. If you like, be the best brain surgeon there is. You don't have my respect. Because your people are not enjoying the same caliber or quality of life as you're enjoying. And that makes you a poor person. China ignores the zoo oil, decides to make use of their brain, unlike most black people that I know. Let's continue. 600 million monthly security votes. Zamfara state governor not sincere, according to an NGO. We must continue. Northern Youth Assembly is another one. In spite of the pending suit instituted against Zamfara state government by Zamfara state chapter of the Northern Youth Assembly over the ongoing plan to discard the 24 million unit of shares jointly owned by the state government and the 14 local government councils, the leadership of the Northern Youth Assembly hosted journalists at a press conference in Guzo to discuss the state of affairs of the current administration of Governor Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar. Now, let me make this very clear to all of you. Some of you are Christians. You say you're Christians. And I want you now to name to yourself 2 Christian countries, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Please, I beg you. Name them. If you write down 5 Christian countries of the world, write down 5 Muslim countries of the world. And see if in the Christian countries of the world, if there is anybody by the name resembling Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, who is a minister or governor in those places. You see, when I go to America later this year to give my interview to the media there, that's exactly what I'm going to say to them. So I am warning them in advance to prepare. Is there anybody known as Abdul Aziz Razak in America? That is a Secretary of State for whatever department that it is. The answer is no. But because Americans are Christians. Yes, is that correct? Of course, Hussein Barack Obama got into power in America because the mother is white. Let's be very honest about this. The mother is white, so Obama is half white. Is that not correct? And he said he was a Christian. That's why they voted for him. And he got into power. Now they know he's a Muslim. That's a debate for another day. For this very purpose, can you name if there is one person answering Christopher John who is a minister in Pakistan? That says no. Why, therefore, am I being forced to stay in a country with somebody answering Abdul Raziz Yari Abubakar? I don't hate you, but I don't want to do anything with you. You don't answer my name. We don't eat the same food. We don't speak the same language. We don't worship the same creator. There is nothing between you and me, nothing whatsoever. So on what basis are we a nation? I ask. It's for Shoyinka. We don't speak the same language. We don't eat the same food. We don't dress the same way. We don't worship the same creator. We don't even solve our problems the same way. What makes us a nation? And that is where the argument finishes. Isn't it? This is Radio Biafra. That is why the zoo can never be a nation. Not now, not tomorrow. The only thing that makes it is a collection of criminals and looters. Criminals. The only thing you have in common is stealing. To steal, to defraud is the only thing you have in common. And the defrauding and stealing, can that be the basis of the formation of a country? The answer is no. So you have nothing in common. Why are you then being called a Nigerian? I ask you. Let us forget about the useless name Nigeria to start with, because in French it's just Niger. So if you are unfortunate to be conquered by the French, you call it Nigerian or whatever rubbish that is. Is that not correct? Now, let us look at it. Of course, you're black. I don't expect most of you to understand what we are saying, but we must say it all the same. Let me ask you again. Why do you allow yourself to be called a Nigerian? To be called a Nigerian means you belong to the same nation. And for you to be a nation, you must share certain similarities or commonality together. There must be something. As you know, in Isiama Faruku, there is something that binds us together, the same way we are. I know it's not the same thing. At least you can tell. Common ancestry and heritage. I'm telling you about my village. Somebody cannot then come from elsewhere, let's say Okulaga or Hokob and Umuoke, to come and say they're part of us. No, you can never be. Because if you say you're from Isiama Faruku, we'll ask you, are you from Titinabo? Are you from Montabo? Are you from Mboko or Moabasi? Where do you come from? If you're not from there, then that means you're not one of us. It's as simple as that. Now, when we come to speak about Afaruku in a whole, then maybe you can come and join us. But not when we discuss kindred matters. No, the answer is no to that. Now, when we go to the zoo, let's apply the same analogy to the zoo. I want very desperately to relate to the Sultan of Sokoto. I want to say to him, you and I belong to the same country. I want to be very generous. What are the basis of that very unity? When I go to the Sultan, what do I say to him? What can I, because if I want to address the Sultan of Sokoto, I have to speak English to him, for him to understand, because I don't speak Hausa. Neither does he speak Igbo. So that language is out of the way. When I go to him, I have to be looking for his face, because he has this bedspread, tarpaulin on his head. I have come alone. My face is showing. I can't even see his eyes. I don't even know if he's the Sultan or not. Is that correct? And from the way they dress, you don't know who is a man, who is a... They all wear maxi, this free-flowing gown. I don't know who is a man. I don't know who is a woman. And that is why, quite frankly, they don't discriminate. Anything you give them, they take. They don't know what is man and what is woman. I am therefore struggling to understand the basis of interaction. When I sit down with the Sultan to eat, I can't eat it. I am still struggling to make out how me and this person is in the same country. I believe in democracy, he doesn't. He believes in Sharia and in Quran. My question, therefore, to the British and to the whole world is, on what basis am I a Nigerian then? With an Hausa man or Fulani? Can you answer it? Of course you can't. You can never. Never. Because the zoo called Nigeria is never a nation and can never be. Let's go. At least in America, they all eat hamburger. Is that correct? Even they may come from diverse cultures. Once you come into, you start to eat hamburger. Is that not correct? And steak, if not for anything. Can you tell me one national dish, one national dress sense, one national language in the zoo? The answer is zero. Absolutely zero. Nothing binds you together. Why, therefore, are you answering a Nigerian? I do not know. I have no idea. And frankly, I have no intention of knowing. An explosion reportedly occurred in Ije-Ododo area of Ikorodu in Lagos early morning of Tuesday, June 9, 2012, following the rupture of oil pipeline by vandals in the area. Now listen very carefully. There is an oil pipeline in Lagos, but Lagos doesn't produce oil. No, they don't. But they are laying pipe, carrying our oil into the hinterland of Yoruba land. How many oil pipelines do you have in Biafra land running into the hinterland? No, all the oil pipelines are designed to either flow to the north or to the west, or to the terminal points where they carry oil, where they lift it. I hope you understand. Nothing is happening where we come from. Yoruba is enjoying. That is why they believe in one Nigeria. And they have ruptured the oil pipeline, and I want them to keep disrupting all the oil pipelines there are. We have not even joined, and it's like this. Imagine when we join, what will happen? We'll burn the zoo down. We'll burn it down. Vandals destroy oil pipeline. The governors who are now, those of you calling them vandals, when a governor like Fashola runs away with 142 billion, what is he? He's not a vandal. So when Jonathan runs away to go and enjoy his oil money in Namibia, he's not a vandal. All of you that is now depleting the coffers where you are, looting everything, what are you? Are you not a vandal? Why don't they call these governors treasury vandals? Because they are destroying more lives than those destroying oil pipelines. But the zoo journalists can never say it, can they? When a governor goes and empties the national treasury, as the Dragon did in Delta State, as Peter Obi did before he left office, you are burning, you are vandalizing people's lives. But I think a vandal is somebody who takes a sledgehammer to go and knock on a pipeline and destroy it. Once you're walking into the treasury and you're emptying all the money belonging to the state, you are a vandal. Because you're depriving people of means of their livelihood. You are even a worse vandal than somebody who went to go and break oil pipeline. But we are black people. I don't think this explanation, we can understand it, can we? That a vandal is not just somebody who vandalizes something. When you go and you take something that doesn't belong to you, when you steal money belonging to the public, you're a vandal. But I don't think some of you can understand it. Quite frankly, I don't. ISIS have now kidnapped 88 Eritrean Christians from people smuggling caravan in Libya after stopping their trucks and quizzing them on the Quran to see if they were Muslim. The kidnapped victims were traveling to Libya, and we are hoping to cross into Europe. You know that trip that our people make from Niger. They walk from the village, they go to Sokoto, they go to Niger. From there, they go to Libya, and ISIS is there now. All the girls, beware. If you take that route, you'll be stopped. If you cannot recite of course, some of you may have to go to Quranic schools to be able to make it. Remember, our sister Chinyere drowned in the Mediterranean when she was trying to cross. Very, very important to understand this. Go and learn Quran, because they will ask you, are you a Muslim? Once you say no, you're finished. You'll be beheaded. It is happening now. It is being reported by Mail, Daily Mail in the UK. This is not Zoo newspaper. We are reporting from Daily Mail in the UK. Very, very important. These are big, big publishing houses. They don't write rubbish. Now, ISIS has taken over Libya. All of you trying to cross over the Mediterranean into Europe, you are warned. If you're a Christian, rethink your strategy, please. Rethink it very, very seriously, because they are now killing people on the way there. And they are coming. As they are killing, they are coming. Very soon they'll be in Niger. From Niger, they'll come into the zoo, and your lives will be over. That time, if you ask me to come and lead this army, I will tell you no. I warned you before. No guns, no weapons. Don't call me. I will tell you that when the time comes. I'm warning you now in advance so that you know. If you want us to fight, give us what we need. APC rejects Saraki Dogara as Senate President and Speaker. This is Tato gossip. Whoever is your Senate President doesn't really make much sense, does it? One thing is guaranteed. By the time they're leaving office, they're multi-billionaires, they're criminals, they're talking about one Nigeria. That's all they share in common. Once you go into political office, including, nobody has asked Buhari, where is your certificate? Secondly, why don't you want to declare your assets? Thirdly, why is it that Aso Rock is there to house whichever baboon is called the president, and you have not moved in yet? They can't ask, can they? But they claim they are journalists. Toothless bulldogs they are. Toothless. It's only to be writing rubbish. And I thought they did meeting not to write about Biafra. They had a very strong meeting. Nobody should mention Biafra. And we went to Aba. They had to write about us by force. You must eventually. We are not paying one. I know half a penny. If you like, you write. If you like, you don't. There are more people listening to Radio Biafra than the combination of every news channel in the zoo. Because our audience is global, worldwide, not just in the zoo. After all, you don't have light anyway. So how are you going to listen? How many people listen to them? That is why when one of their cable TV does something, a paper needs to write it so that other people can see what or hear what is happening. But they're supposed to be listening live on the TV, isn't it? Because there's no light. No light. But it's not stopping us, though, from launching our TV. It's not stopping us. The refusal of the terrorist Muhammadu Buhari and, of course, the pedophile to move into the Aso Rock presidential villa, the official residence of the zoo president, has been traced to instructions given to the terrorist by one man from Senegal. He's a spiritualist, an Islamic spiritualist. According to reports carried in a newspaper, the Senegalese Marabout had warned Buhari not to move into the villa until they conduct the necessary spiritual cleansing to make it safe for him and his family to move in, because everybody who moves to Aso Rock dies. You must lose somebody in your family. Jonathan lost two, actually. Jonathan lost the brother and the sister. Yaradua lost his wife, his life, rather, and Obasanjo lost his wife. Do you understand? Before that, the aspirant to Aso Rock or Villa, whatever nonsense it's called, is Abiola. Abiola died. Abacha also died. Obasanjo moved in, the wife died. Yaradua moved in, Yaradua himself died. Jonathan moved in, Jonathan lost the brother and the sister. Welcome to hell. You move in, somebody will die. Maybe in the case of Buhari, maybe one of the granddaughters will be married at the age of 9, who knows, and abused sexually the same way that he abused Aisha. They are relying on spiritualists. These are African people. They have all these wishy-washy, how can I put it, superstitious mumbo-jumbo, rubbish, superstition. That is why you are as primitive as you are today. You still believe in superstition. Nonsense. Ex-minister urges Buhari to probe Alice Maduke's transfer of OML 42 to Nekonde. Neconde. So how about the transfer done by Obasanjo as the oil minister? Has anyone queried him? The reason why they're chasing Alice Maduke is for two reasons. She's a very beautiful woman. Awasa wants to rape her in prison. That is number one. And number two, of course, I'm telling you the truth. If I'm telling you, believe you me. Awasa doesn't want to see a pretty Biafran woman. Go and check. They marry them by force. Awasa want to lay their hands on Desia and Alice Maduke. She's a very fine woman. And the husband is about to realize that working for Biafra is infinitely better. We are not asking them to come in the public and say, oh, I support Biafra. You don't need to do that. How many Awasa Fulani Alamajiri come out in the open to say, we support Boko Haram? Or we support Maitasine? These men are supposedly learned. They know what to do. But they refuse to do it. They are serving one Nigeria. Anything like they can do to your wife. But anyway, Yoruba people are calling for Alice Maduke to be probed. But no Yoruba people is calling for Buhari's tenure as the PTF chairman to be probed. Buhari was also a petroleum minister. Nobody probed him during his time. Buhari, my goodness me. Our people are daft, you see. Very daft indeed. I don't feel sorry for them. Somebody's asking for Desia and Maduke to be probed because of oil transfer. But nobody probed Danjuma, you see. Danjuma openly sold his oil block. Nobody said to Danjuma, but you're a military man, you're a general in battle. Did you go to fight for oil block or did you go to fight to defend the zoo as you claim you're going to defend them? But when Danjuma sold his oil block, nobody complained. You see, when Babangida imports a horse from Argentina for the son to play polo with, nobody complains. When the trainer of that horse is also from Argentina, flown in by a private jet, nobody complains. But Alice Maduke did her job and all of a sudden everybody's complaining. Why? Because I warned the husband. You don't support what we are doing, and you're fair game. And today they're dealing with him, and I feel no sorry for him in any way, shape, or form. We continue on this oil, because without oil, the zoo will be no more. Everything about the zoo is oil. The Lower Niger unit of the National Union of Petroleum and Gas Workers, maybe this is where they got the name from, Lower Niger. What is your name? You're from Lower Niger. What is the meaning of Niger? It means nigger, which is a derisory word in Latin. In English, it's called Niger. In French, it's called Niger. And he said that is your name. It was the name of a trading company that came to enslave our people. And you say that is your name. Biafra has been in existence for over 5,000 years. And people are still talking gibberish. You want to answer Lower Niger? Ain't you that hopeless? You must be foolish. You don't even know what your name is. And you want to free your people from bondage. Sad indeed. They can never be like us, can they? The Lower Niger unit of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, on Tuesday, June 9, 2015, decried the recent attack, which resulted in killing of innocent staff of the Orient Petroleum Resources and destruction of property worth millions of naira in Enugu Otu Aguleri in Anambra East Local Government area of Anambra State by unidentified gunmen suspected to be a Sonwa village in a Baji Local Government area of Kogi State. There is fighting and killing going on between a gala and their own flesh and blood. Such nonsense must stop. It needs to stop. This is exactly what happens when young people don't have job to do. Why do you think that your sons and daughters join cultism at university? Because they are not under any supervision. They don't write any essay. When I was an undergraduate here in England, I used to write an essay every blessed week. Every week you must submit an essay of 1,500 words. Every blessed week, bar none. By the time you finish doing the research, believe you me, you'll be worn out. If they show you cultism, you won't do it. But because they have nothing, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. They have nothing to do. People engage in all manner of illicit, nefarious, violent activities in order to make their point. Why is that the case? Because the enabling environment for the resolution of any dispute does not exist in the zoo. Very sad indeed, isn't it? That is why our people are dying. Today, a gala is fighting Aguleri. The same people forget it was an Aguleri woman, and a woman, I should say, that gave birth to them. The same family, the same people, and they're fighting over oil because P2B wants it to be so. P2B, Emeka Anyoko, and Jonathan, they are the owners of Orient Petroleum. The person lifting it in his capacity as a minority shareholder is Ibeto. And where do they live? They live in Lagos and they live in Abuja. But they're taking your oil and they're selling it. And they'll come back and they say they are the elite, Igbo elite. You are an Igbo elite. Where do you live? You live in Abuja. You live in Lagos. This is Radio Biafra. Our people are dying. A scheduled meeting between leaders of the Islamic Boko Haram Party, APC, and the terrorist in chief, Muhammadu Buhari, and pedophile, I hasten to add, and members of the National Assembly elected on the party's platform ended abruptly on Tuesday. I don't want to discuss such nonsense. I call it gossip. I call it tittle. That is not news. It is not newsworthy at all. I will use 100 million monthly security vote to provide rural communities in Nasarawa with water. Security vote. So there is no planning of infrastructure. He is going to use it to provide water in Nasarawa. Now the question is, how is he going to provide the water? Let's see what the baboon has to say. Governorship candidate of the APC in Nasarawa State, Mr. Labaran Maku, has vowed to use the contentious security vote. This is the man to use the contentious security vote for the provision of water in rural communities in the state and will squander the funds under dubious and unknown expenditure holdings. Where is this news coming from? I'm not sure that Abga won in Nasarawa. So where is it coming from? He ran under, is it APC or what? What sort of news is this? I need to know. No, not at all. Rural communities in Nasarawa with water. Where was this thing done? No, that was earlier this year. That is just to give us a taster of what happens, how this very man intends to provide rural communities with water. The reason why we are presenting it is this. People don't know that there are, especially this very generation, you don't know that there are ways you can provide water to homes. In fact, there's only one way. How is that? You have what is called water works. Ask any developed country in the world, any city that is worth its salt. Only in Black Africa don't you have water works anymore working. When the Europeans were there, these water works were working, They get water from either a reservoir, from a lake, even from underground reservoir. They pump it up, make sure it is treated, and then they pump it to homes. But I will tell you one thing that the white man did, which is why the collapse of water supply in the zoo is a good thing in disguise. Once the British discovered that asbestos is very dangerous. The stuff you use in your ceiling back in the village. Asbestos. It kills people, but you don't know. I don't want to scare you, but don't disrupt it where it is, please. The British began to install, listen carefully, pipe-borne water, the pipeline. Do you know what the pipe is made up of? Asbestos. So when we were at primary school, the water we were drinking were basically asbestos. We were ingesting it, not just inhaling. Go and do your research. They were laying asbestos. That is the only time in the history that I know of where corruption has actually led to the saving of lives rather than taking it. It's in water supply. Had water continued to be supplied via all those asbestos pipes, everybody by now would have been dead. The contamination of the blood will be so much. That is the disease called asbestosis, or awful disease. Everybody will be dead by it. But mind you, some people are dying of it. When you ask them, they say their neighbor is holding them. They say, let us go to prayer house of one Yoruba man. Let us pray for the person. They will die eventually. And what I was saying is that there is only one way to supply water. From the water works, the water is pumped across a network of pipes to homes and businesses. That is water supply. Water supply is not overhead tank. How many times do you clean your tank anyway? Do you know that because you store water, that water is bound to have residue? It's bound to have contamination in it. I don't think you know. But this is Radio Biafra. Now you know. That concludes our news this very evening, with the time now standing at very close to 5 minutes to 9 p.m. in the evening from here in the United Kingdom, going out to the whole world. We delight in opening our lines. I still have not been able to get hold of the barrister, perhaps very, very busy at the court today, that I have not been able to get hold of him. But wherever you are, once again, our lines are open. We are welcoming you to Radio Biafra Live Transmission. If you are not aware, our number is +44 78 313 08376. I repeat, if you call this number, this is the same number for our Viber, the same number for Tango, the same number for IMO, but we also have it as a studio line anytime we are in the United Kingdom. That number is +44 78 313 08376. We are also here on our studio line in Biafra land, which is +234 817 381 3596. And these lines are both going off now. And we must, of course, proceed to take your calls. If you call us, let us try and see if we can hear them. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Director. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Your voice is a bit low. It is not your fault, but continue. We can hear you. Go ahead. No, not at all. Not at all. Not able to continue. Therefore, we must proceed. People are still calling us, even on the lines as well. People are calling us from back in Biafra land and in the wider zoological republic. You know, Nigeria is a zoo full of animals. I love the song played by our brother, Animal Kingdom. Very correct. The caller on Viber, can you hear me?
Yes, coordinator. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Your name, please, and where you are.
Yes, you're speaking with Kennedy Madalese. I'm calling you from.
You're calling from where?
I'm calling from Anambra State.
From Anambra State via Viber. Amazing stuff. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much, Director. I want to thank you for your good works and everything you have been doing for Biafrans. You know, there is something very significant about the truth. Whenever you see the truth anywhere, you must know and identify that this is the truth. I could remember the very first day I heard Radio Biafra on a radio. Someone put it on in a car moving. Immediately I heard the word Biafra. There was something very significant that struck me, and I was not myself, you know. So I have to listen. Being the kind of inquisitive personality I was able to listen and know what they are talking about. Now, in the area of actualizing Biafra, I want to tell you that first of all, what you are doing is a grand work. If you come to Biafra land, Biafrans need to unite. That's the first and the fundamental thing that we need to do first. Because I used to live in all this Niger Delta or Lower Niger, whatever they call themselves. I happened to live in Abo, and there was a time my landlord, the landlord I was living in his house, there was one certain day he made a comment. He said, "I'm not an Igbo man and I can never be an Igbo man." So I said, "You are not an Igbo man, but you are answering Ndubisi." And that was very, very amazing, you know.
It is amazing because did you ever consider that this man may be suffering from a psychological problem? Do you think it's everybody you see that is well? You don't know that is something that is the mental disease everywhere going about. You saw somebody who is in Dubisi, who is saying he is not Igbo. Why didn't you call for medical help for him? The man is not well. And you're debating with him.
I wonder.
Somebody's in Ketinya. He's saying she's not Igbo. Don't you know the person is not well? They need help. They need medical. They need psychiatric help. You call the doctors to come and look at the idiot, because that is the way they are. They're in the zoo. What do you know? What do you think?
They need it seriously. They need it. Director, I want to use this platform to solicit the Abo area of Biafra land. They have not gotten this message, and I need this message to go there.
We are going there, as we said. That is why we keep saying to people all the time. People sometimes they call us and they say, "Oh, do you need help?" Of course, we need help all the time. We need funding. If we have the funding, we will go to everywhere. What we want to do is to have what is called the quadruple lock. We want FM. We also want to be on satellite. We want to be, or we are online, and our TV is coming, and we are also going to go to our AM. But we need money to do all these things. We don't have any patron. We rely on ordinary people, because even if a patron comes, I won't listen to them. I don't want one person to fund what we're doing. I want all of us to fund it. The more funding we have, the more we can do everything. We managed to find one from Soka. Our Igwacha is working, and Ebony has one already and is going there very, very shortly. So we are ready. It's just the preparedness of our people to understand that this requires massive funding that is holding us back. Once we get it, our will have its own.
Yes, Director. There is a woman that called yesterday. I was so much fascinated by what she said. You know, the last woman that spoke yesterday night. The woman that said if everybody, all the Biafrans should contribute $100, it will go a very long way in purchasing the armor that we need to actualize this religion we are talking about. You know, there is no way we can be able to purchase, even preaching the gospel is money. Even preaching the word of God is money. There is no way you can preach without being conveyed from one place to another. So this gospel you are preaching is also it needs money. We know, we believe, we know what you are saying. But now the most important thing is to be united and.
We are united. You can never get 100% unity. Of course, we are united. Don't you believe in the truth? Do you believe? Do you want those that their father have been stealing and lying to come and join us? Because they know we'll expose them. So there is no day you're going to get 100% unity. But all we are saying is that we are united. I'm not sure if you came to Aba. If you had come to Aba, you would have seen that we are in unity. In Aba, people came from everywhere. From the so-called South and the so-called Southeast, everybody came out together in Aba. We were millions on the streets of Aba. Yes. So we are united already. Yes, there are people who will not unite with us. Do you know that there are some people within Biafra being funded by Awasa Fulani people? Awasa Fulani will come now, and people are hungry. And once people are hungry, they will give them 5,000 naira. They'll start talking rubbish. So it's only understandable. People are very hungry now. Do you know that some people were deported? As soon as they were deported, they had nothing to show their families for their deportation. They said they're doing Biafra. And Awasa Chora Hoberego, they will join them and do whatever Awasa says to them. So that's how life is. Not everybody will come, my dear brother, but if you believe in the truth, you will come here. And once you come here, you are saved. And as I believe that we are also saved, thank you very much for your call. I welcome it, and we shall go to Abo very, very soon. Please, if you're calling Radio Biafra, restrict what you're saying to only 2 minutes, if you may. Millions are waiting to speak to us as well. I have a caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
With you.
And you too.
My name is Indigenous. I'm calling from Rome, precisely.
From where?
Director, I want to greet you.
Where are you calling from?
I'm from Okozo, and I'm State. I'm calling from Rome.
From Rome, thank you.
Yeah, Director, I want to thank you, Miss. What I have with you.
You say? And you too.
Whenever I hear from you, I'm always happy. My mind is there. And when you are speaking, when I go out, I confront every mountain and I will level it. No, but I think no matter the circumstances of any place I dismantle it. As I'm listening to you, I'm a good follower. I'm follower to the last call. Everything you are saying, I'm doing it. I'm putting it in practice, and it is working. Director, I don't have much word to say. May Jehovah be with you.
He said,
may Jehovah Yahweh be with you.
He said,
may Jehovah Yahweh be with you.
He said,
that is the same way I will continue to strong under Jehovah Yahweh will be our God.
He said,
no matter what they call out, I don't send. But that Jehovah Yahweh, he said, because I have listened to your word and I have gone into so many people and I've dismantled them. Nobody even challenge me anymore.
Nobody.
In fact, Director, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. Anybody who is listening and putting those words you are telling us and practice, believe me, people will be scared of you. When they see you, they say this person is a fire. Let's leave this person. He's a fire on his own. I have put all the words and practice, Director, and I have seen it. And I will do my best to see that Biafra comes. That is my promise, Director. May Jehovah will be with you.
He said,
that is what I have to say.
He said, and also be with you. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you. We are live and we are direct, and Chukwu Okike Abiama is in heaven presiding. Awasa and Fulani will come. They will answer Igbo names. They will make you think that they are with you. They will make you think that they are one of us, but they can never ever be. Because darkness and light can never ever mix either. The caller on the phone, turn your system down before I disengage you. Turn it down, please, your name and where you are. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. What is your name and where exactly are you calling us from? Because the world is listening and this is Radio Biafra.
I am calling from Aba. My name is Osinachi Erondu.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. The world is listening. Go ahead.
So I want to thank you for your good work that you have been doing for our people. I say, may Chukwuadema bless you in abundance. And your family and your wife and the womb that gave birth to you. I blessed that womb. I say, may Chukwuadema continue to bless your family, bless every one of us that is in Biafra land. Bless every IPOB member. We thank you for what you have been doing for us. I pray that God will help us to achieve this Biafra. We are suffering. We are tired of the zoo. We are tired of the zoo. We don't know anything to do again. We don't know where to run to again. It's only God that we trust. And it's only Him that can deliver us from this zoological republic. I bless you because you have done us proud. You are a man. You are a man. You are not a woman. Because sometimes people will think we plan to do something, they will not achieve it. But I know that God Almighty is the one that sent you. And I believe that God will help you to achieve Biafra for us. Last time, on 30th of that April, most of the armies, they were in my house, about 20 of them. I fed them with my husband. We are expecting that Biafra must come. We are believing that Biafra is on our way. He's in his way coming. And I want God to help so that even my own children, that my children will see Biafra. Though I have not gotten one now, but I believe in God that God will do something. That Biafra must come. I believe that Biafra must come. All this while I have been thinking before, even my sister that were, those of my sisters that were in North, I have been telling them to come back. I've been preaching to them to come back to Biafra land. They are doing strong head. I don't know what is wrong with them. But I believe that when it will start, they will run in helter-skelter and there will be nobody to rescue them. I've been telling them all this while. They are there saying cucumber.
Hello?
I believe that God will touch them and they will come back. I thank you and I bless you. I say, my Chukwuadema continue to guide and protect you. At the end, we will achieve Biafra in the name of Chukwuadema. I pray.
It's a complete prayer. After all, why did Yahushua say, hallowed be thy name, if you don't give Chukwuadema praise? How can he say, hallowed be thy name? We continue. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Yes. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes. Good evening, Director.
Good evening to you. Your line is not clear. Can you hear me?
My line?
It's not clear. Not clear at all. At all. We have a caller. I don't like when people call Radio Biafra, they leave their listening device on. It makes me sick. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Turn it off. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me? I don't like where there is noise. Can you hear me? My goodness. And that is why we say that we need people who can listen, people who can follow others, people who follow instructions. Not most of you. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Director.
Good evening to you.
My name is Kelechi Wosu. I'm calling from Aba.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. Kelechi, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, Director, I'm very happy to get you today. I have been trying this line over and over. There's no way. But I'm very happy and I thank you so much for what you are doing for us in this Biafra land and this world. I want to tell you that as God of Israel and Chukwuadema will continue to bless you and giving you strength for your effort in this freedom. May Chukwuadema bless you in Jesus' name. So, my Director, what I want to say is that we are tired of this country that so-called Nigerian. If I thought that I have money, director, I will contribute my last card to make sure that the weapons are ready. Because as we are in Aba now, what we are seeing in Aba, I don't think this Nigeria is a country. We are tired of this Nigeria, and we are tired of answering Nigeria. What I'm praying every day and day and day is that let God bring this Nigeria, this Biafra. Let God bring Biafra. Let Chuko Biama from heaven, as Chuko Biama delivered Israel from Egypt. Let it deliver Biafra from Nigeria. Because we are tired of this Nigeria. Please, Director, my prayer every day is Chuko Biama will guide you and guide your family. Because last time I went to bank, I believe I have seen that Biafra has come. I go to bank, even bank managers, if you want to fill a form, they will ask you whether they will be taking it as a joke. Very soon, we will start filling Biafra. It's no more Nigeria again. That is, I know that Biafra is coming.
Is that what they're saying in Aba? Hold on. Is that what they're saying now in Aba?
That is what they're saying in Aba.
Wonderful.
I went to UBA Bank on last week, Friday. So they are doing it as a joke. That very soon we are feeling Biafra. There's no more Nigeria. That everybody is tired of this Nigeria.
Of course.
That even the managers in the bank are saying.
Of course. Everybody's tired. Including the terrorists.
We are tired. Look at what is happening now. Everything is Hausa. Vice President is Hausa. President is Hausa. Everything is an Hausa. That means we Igbos or we Biafrans, we don't have any portion in the Zoom called Nigeria. So let the world, let the Bama, let everybody share that, so that Hausa, we don't have anything common to share with Hausa. We don't wear the same dress. We don't eat the same food. We don't.
We have nothing in common.
So we have nothing in common. Biafra is coming. I strongly believe that is one day I pray. Anything I pray and shed tears, I believe that thing is coming to pass. Biafra is coming. Director, wait on. May God bless you and bless you and bless you and bless you and give you more strength and power to forward this issue.
He said, in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth, the one that Yahweh said, let thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. He did not stop there. He said, hallowed be thy name. That means that the name above every other name is the name of the Father in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. People don't understand it. They don't understand. But if you come here, you will learn. You will understand and you will participate. I have a caller on the line. Can you hear me? The caller on the phone. This is Radio Biafra.
Hello.
Yes, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Director.
Yes,
My
please.
name is Kinsley.
Your name is what? Your name is. You're wasting time. Go ahead. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Kinsley. I'm calling from Aba.
Kingsley, what is your father's name, please? Your father's name.
Kinsley Ubuneke.
Thank you, Ubuneke. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
One more hello and you're off. And that was exactly how it came to pass. As simple as that. If you want to make your comment, you make your comment. If you want to listen to yourself, you listen to yourself. This is Radio Biafra, the caller on the phone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Please remove your phone from speaker. Remove it from speaker and talk to us. We are listening. Talk to me over the phone.
I'm not in I have gone out from my radio set, and my phone is not in the speaker.
Then your line is not clear. I will recommend that you try and call us back because your line is not clear at all. This is Radio Biafra, and because of that, you must know that we are live and that we are direct. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, Director. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Peter Tamuna Menabo from Ezon.
From Ezon?
Ugocha, Okrika. Yes, I'm calling from Okrika, sir.
From Okrika. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I appreciate the thing you're doing for us, but currently I'm working at Onitsha at Trade Transinkisi.
Yes.
I'm listening to the Radio Biafra. Since I've been listening to your program, I appreciate it. One funny thing, as an Okrika man, I know that I'm an Ezon man, and I'm from the Omambala River, according to history. Yes. What I want to tell you is this. Don't mind all those our brothers in the Niger that are seeking for resource control or all these things. I know them. I know Ateke. I know them so many much from Uluguacha to Krika to Kalabare. They are too small to deal with. Whenever we are ready for Biafra, as I'm here now, there was a time I called the coordinator in Port Harcourt in Uluguacha. Sorry. He gave me a number, and the number he gave me was the coordinator in Tam at Marine Base. So I contacted the person. I told him I'm coming weekend to join the IPOB family. Please, forget about those that are disturbing his own area. They are just fishmongers. They are just men looking for mere change. If they really understand what is food, Ateke is an illiterate. He doesn't know anything. He's a fool. He's a big fool. But we are there. I have soldiers. I have people inside the Iguacha boys. I've already contacted them about the movement. They just want us to get a link to join the soldier. So we want to join the Biafran force. So do this thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I am very, very happy because anytime I hear somebody from Okrika, I'm always very happy. Because we wouldn't be where we are today if not for an Okrika man. It was Okrika man that said our name is Biafra. So when I hear people from Okrika telling us that they are from Niger Delta, it pains me so much. Because if not for it was an Okrika man, no, the same man from his zone that said to us, your name is Biafra. Nobody argued. Of course. So I can't understand the reason why somebody can come from somewhere after giving us a name, you then turn around and say it is no longer our name. I don't believe in that rubbish. And then somebody will call now and say, how about people of Niger Delta? Are you taking them along? That was from Okrika. He's living at 33 in Onitsha because we are everywhere. So I said anything I tell you is correct. I told you before that this Niger Delta, they are more prepared than we are for Biafra. Some of you did not believe me, but now you can see it. Do you know how many soldiers came from there on the 30th of May? Do you know how many warriors came from Niger Delta on the 30th of May? No, you don't know. You have to be in Aba to see it. Then you know we are united, that we are one family. You know blood is thicker than water, even thicker than crude oil. The caller on the phone. Director. Yes, please, your name and where you are. This is Radio Biafra.
I am calling from Aba, Biafra land, and my name is Chima Brown. I want to appreciate you for the good work you are doing for our land, Biafra.
Thank you.
A lot of people are listening to you. A lot of people are being enlightened. A lot of people are being informed. Any man that is not informed is deformed. And you have come to inform us. And by the special grace of Chukwu Abiyama, we have gotten up from our cripple, from our slumber. And today we are rising once again. Biafra, the land of the rising sun, has risen to fall no more. It shall fall no more. It shall fall no more. It shall fall no more. Every forces of darkness, every geological forces that is fighting against Biafra, they have collapsed and they shall rise no more. And Biafra has risen thank God for you and thank God for all that you have been saying and doing. My eyes have opened. My father once told me a story of his brother who died during the Biafra Civil War, a bright star. The eyes of the family, one Christopher John, he died during the Biafra Civil War, and that was how the family was destroyed. And today we are still living the pain of the departure of that youngster. Anybody that is from Momoawa, will know the history of the young man I'm talking about. He was a bright star. Everybody that saw light in Momoawa as at that time saw it through him. But today you have resurrected the spirit of Biafra in us, and we are determined to follow you. I attended a meeting today with some of my colleagues, and we were just trying to crack a joke. One of our spiritual heads once said that he talked about ISIS, he talked about Boko Haram, and he said there is another one, Biafra. I said Biafra has come. Biafra is not ISIS, Biafra is not Boko Haram. By the grace of Chukwu Abiyama, Biafra has come to stay. Including the people that you thought will not talk about Biafra, they are talking about it.
Of course, Radio Biafra is formidable.
And in my life, I have never had that experience. And anytime I have that experience, I'm always careful.
Everybody
is listening. I listen to Radio Biafra. And anytime I'm be very careful, because the next thing that will happen is either it goes the way a man may expect. So, by the special grace of
yes,
we are going to face challenges, but those challenges, God has given us victory over them.
You see?
Those challenges, God has already given us victory over them. We shall overcome. Right on, Director. Right on, Nnamdi Kanu. Long live Biafra. Long live great people of Biafra. Long live Enyimba City that never disappointed us.
They did not disappoint us. Thank you very much, my brother. Enyimba was too strong. Abba was chained right round. Abba was too formidable. Abba was way too formidable. And that will be the command headquarters of this very onslaught when we commence our march. I will command the armies of Biafra from Abba. I'm telling you now, so that you bear that in mind. Abba was way too strong. Abba protected Biafra on the 30th of May. Biafra must protect Abba in turn. Abba gave us, when I mean protection, Abba gave us protection. Abba in everywhere it was buzzing. Do you know those that discuss Biafra? No, you don't. Do you know those that discuss Biafra who don't call Radio Biafra? Do you know who they are? When I say we are going to win, I know what I'm talking about, and we are going to win. Just watch and see what. By the time Biafra comes, I will no longer need to tell you who Chukwu Abiyama is. Some of you will be preaching to me about Chukwu Abiyama and his magnificence. Watch and see. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Please turn your system down. I can hear a background noise, please, and definitely turn it down. Your name and where you are. This is Radio Biafra.
Hello.
I can hear you very well. Your name and where you are. Your name and where you are. I was interested in nothing more, nothing less. Just your name and where you. The people calling, you know, even those, does it mean that those at home outnumber those abroad? My goodness. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? I have a caller on the phone. Turn your system down. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Please, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Shukudi Akaroe. I'm from Ihite Akata, in Oru East Local Government of Imo State, Biafra land.
Thank you. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yes, Director. I must thank you for all the jobs that you are doing for us.
We thank Chukwu Abiyama.
May Chukwu Abiyama bless you.
He said, and you too.
Director, I want to use this opportunity to call all of my brothers, Biafran brothers. It's true that you are doing a very good job for us, but we have a role to play. There is a way you have to do it. We have to let the world know. We can't leave everything for you to talk. We have to let the world know so that all the atrocities that, most especially our policemen, they are doing. Nobody in Aba here that didn't know what police people are doing. Let us give the testimony to the whole world for them to hear. For those that do ask, why are we looking for Biafra? Through our testimony, they will hear. And some of our brothers that are in diaspora over there, they don't even take care, they don't even mind of what we are suffering here. So let us use our hand and our mouth to tell them, look at one of my brothers is passing on the way. And his house in the night. And security people, the Zoo police, they came there and took over him, trying to take him away. If not for his wife, they used the baton and beat him off. To the extent that one of my neighbors here, they crushed his leg with baton. Just like that, they are trying to arrest his brother. He wanted to ask what is going on, and they used the baton and break up his leg. See, today it's over 3 months.
Are you still with us?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Your line is about to cut off. Be very, very brief. Summarize because your credit is about to finish. Go ahead.
So the man is going with crutches. So let us, my brother, let us tell the world what the police are doing here so that they can see the reason why we are agitating for Biafra. That is all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. They break your legs. They do things to you, very terrible things, and everybody has a job to do. Everybody has a job to do. If you want to see Biafra, Biafra is your country. It doesn't belong to me. If you don't want it to come, you remain in servitude and slavery forever and ever. If you want Biafra to come, you must do something. There are churches all across Biafra land, not Yoruba ones. Please, I have to warn you. I want everybody to go to churches around where they are and tell the presiding minister or pastor to tell the congregation about Biafra. Tell your congregation, very simple, or in simple terms, prepare for Biafra. Only 3 words. Prepare for Biafra. Say that to your congregation, and your job is done. Only. I'm asking, just do it only once. Prepare for Biafra. If they ask you how, tell them to listen to Radio Biafra, and your job as a minister is done. It is done. Be truthful and honest. That's what we're asking for. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? No. I don't think they can. I do not think they can. Some people are that way. It could be network difficulties because they are calling us from the damnation called the Zoological Republic. Awful indeed. Awful. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, Director. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Please, what is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Mike Waneri calling from Aba.
Waneri, thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Well, I'm calling from Aba. Director, I wanted to inform you, even that day where you come to Aba. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear. The world is listening. Go ahead.
That day you come to Aba, I passed with my boys through CKC. I even informed the policemen where they are that their salary will be on pounds. All of them nearly dropped their gun, looking at me as if I'm the country that day. You can ask some people, those who are there. I passed there with my boys. With my boys, we are going somewhere that we are going in this that day. With the red cap and the white singlet, we wear all white singlet, pass through there, telling the policemen their all salary will be in pounds. If they support Biafra, honestly, you ask of our boss, you hear it. But Director, I wanted to tell you now that Aba is very, very strong, more than any other area in this world. I can never lie for you, and we are waiting. We are waiting to see the actions that is going to happen here in Aba. You get me?
Loud and clear. Thank you very much. Of course, loud and clear.
All right, we are 100% in support of you. I even telling my brothers that have not to come back. We are not for Nigeria again, and we are not going to stay in Nigeria. We are not going to be a Nigerian people anymore again. Pastor, we are 100% ready. What we need is an ammunition to destroy all the zoos. Honestly, life and direct, whether they like it or not. Because all these Boko Haram people, what they need is the Islamic country. Let them share this country. Yoruba don't answer Ududua. Then Igbos answer Biafra. Then they are already answering Arewa and the Islamic country, which everybody knows. All this powerful men where they are such like somebody like Ojos or Carl, all these governors and everything, they are all receiving huge bag from the Jew. That's the reason why they don't want to support Biafra. Just come and do revelations here so that everybody will go. Simple and short. I will still call you. Even I'm trying your number when you are in Nigeria, but I couldn't get you. When you are in Biafra, I couldn't get you. But now I'm happy to get you. I even write for you.
Yes,
I even write for you. I even write for you. You know, read it.
Yes,
Ask those who are secrecy. They see our boss. When we came to pass through that CKC area, they didn't think that it was Nnamdi Kanu, the director come. I tell them their salary will be in pounds. If they are nearly dropped their gun. Honestly, all the policemen here, they are 100% in support of Biafra. But they will not let you know. I'm telling you the secret thing now. We are all ready. What we need is destroy the zoo. Now, simple and short. Even my voice are ready. And you will not see us in action until when you direct us, when you direct us to come out for action. You will see us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know that people are prepared. I know also that people are determined, and that is not in any doubt whatsoever. I have absolute and unshakable belief in the preeminence of the children of the Most High, because darkness can never defeat light. And we are the children of light. I also have to tell you that when His Excellency determined that they should add the rising sun to the flag, he did not know what he was doing. Of course, he's Moses. He is led by the Spirit. So he does what the Spirit tells him to do. It is not because we are from the East. It is because we bring light where there is darkness. If you look at the tricolor of the rising sun, which is our flag, you know, some of you just say Biafran flag. It has a name. It's a tricolor, for your information, of the rising sun. It has red, it has black, it has green at the bottom. And if you look at where the rising sun was placed, it was placed in the black strip of the flag, which shows is symbolic. And that is why the day that Ojukwu rose up to say that no force can defeat Biafra, he was making what is in essence a divine and biblical statement. If you look at the Biafran flag, you will see that our rising sun is on the black strip, which signifies very simply that we bring light where there is darkness. And we are coming from a very blessed and fertile land, which is green, of course. We are here to bring light, and there is red on top of it, which means they will kill us and we'll kill them and Biafra will come. That's the meaning of red, of course. Don't you know that before? That's the meaning of it. Our flag is replete with symbolism. Some people cannot see it because they are blind. We can see it because Chukwu Abiyama asked us to come. Can't you see? Nothing can stop Biafra. We represent the light. We answer Ihe. Ihe means light. We answer Anyanwụ, which means the sun itself. People don't know who they are. Hana soku asoku. People are foolish. I'm telling you, that is why I get upset with them. If you know who you are, only if you know who you are. Any day you wake up and know who you are. If they call you a Nigerian, you pick up a gun and shoot the person, because it's an insult. To be called a Nigerian is a complete and total insult, which you must reject. You are a child of light. Do you know what that means? You signify progress. You signify truth. And you are consistent. You never change. Because without you, there will be no life. If the sun is to go out tomorrow, every plant will die. life the way we know it will cease to exist. That is what you are. Without you, black man, wherever they are on this earth, from Papua New Guinea to blacks in America, they will continue to wallow in ignorance and in poverty. You hold the key of salvation. Your job is not just to survive as a people. Your job is to salvage the whole of the black race, wherever they may be. Now you understand your mission. Do you see why it is biblical? Because we represent the light. Do you know that our flag, Biafran flag, is the same flag as the Black Power movement in America? Black Power movement is the same thing, but the only thing is that there's no rising sun. You don't know, but now you know. This is what you miss when you miss listening to Radio Biafra. Some of these things you don't know, but when you come here, you then know. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello, my director. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my dear brother. Please, your name and where you are.
Director is not doing it from Ibitolo local government. Or what precisely?
Thank you. Are you listening to Radio Biafra? Are you listening to Radio Biafra now?
Of course, I'm a regular listener. I doesn't play with Radio Biafra.
Thank you very much.
In fact, I'm a hardcore Biafra. People used to call me Biafra this time. They said I'm Biafra.
Thank you very much. Thank you, but please turn your radio down. I can hear it. Turn your radio down. Please turn the radio down if you can. I can hear my voice coming through. Turn it down.
Guys, my director, I'm sorry, let me turn it down.
Please turn it down, I beg of you. Your voice will come through eventually because of the delay, because of the physics of the travel of sound through space. Please, your voice comes through. Once I can hear you on my headphones, it means the world is hearing you. Please go ahead. Can you hear me?
My director, yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead, please.
In fact, I'm a regular listener. Director, I thank you for your relentless effort towards the restoration of the kingdom of God upon this planet.
Of course.
Which we know as Biafra.
Of course. Can you hear me?
Chifu Abiyama himself is the one to reward you. The eyes of the enemy shall not see you in any way. We've been praying for you day in, day out. There are some of our Biafran brothers here. When we tell them about Biafra restoration, they think that Biafra restoration is a joke. In fact, what happened last Saturday, since that time I've been trying your line to get you. What happened at Biafra, the Remembrance Day? In fact, it was awesome. Since that time I've been trying your line to congratulate you because you've done the Biafrans proud. And then the Biafrans themselves, in turn, do yourself proud. You're one in a million. I thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Go on with your efforts. You're too much.
Thank you very much, and you are very, very kind indeed. You are kind because you are a Biafran, because you are genuine and you are sincere. I am honored and I'm humbled, and this work will continue unabated. People are, even those at home can't allow those calling from abroad. I am in England right now, and there's no call from USA. There is no call from Europe. They have dominated the land, and I love it. Biafra belongs to them.
Hello.
Yes, please, your name and where you are.
Hello, I am Chukuna, the pastor Chukuna Ikechi. I'm calling from Anambra State.
You're a pastor in which denomination?
From Christian Revival Mission.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Please, I want to thank you. I'm thanking God for how He has been using you. And I want to commend your good work and pray that God will give you power and strength even more so that you accomplish your wish in Jesus' name.
You say?
So, and I'm very, very happy to hear about Biafra in the radio, FM radio. So I'm very, very happy. And I pray that God will help us, that at the end of every day, we will actually come to our homes and answer our own name. So that no matter what people say, and no matter what people, so-called Christian, criticize about Biafra or speak against you, I want to tell you to buckle up, to carry on. Because I hope that God, the Holy One of Israel, will help you, that at the end of everything, you must surely conquer. You right on, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And that is a pastor and minister after my own heart. Freedom is key. The number one freedom fighter on this earth was Yahushua. The number one freedom fighter. Sometimes when you sing songs, you said, he came to set us free. Of course he did. And that is why you're free today. You can ask for forgiveness of sins without killing any ram or goat or shedding any more blood. Because I believe he died on the cross of Calvary for everybody. I believe in that completely because I'm a better Christian than most of them. But the thing is that I speak the truth. Some of them don't. But this pastor speaks the truth as well. Thank you very much. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello, is it me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. You are on the phone. Your name and where you are.
God bless you. This is Chike Ziobi Jacko.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you, Vijako. Thank you. I know
everyone. No, you're welcome back.
Thank you very much. Briefly, that is. Thank you very much.
God is with you.
And also with you.
I'm telling you that the time you are in this world, there was a time that Pope came to Nigeria, the best Pope ever, Pope John Paul. You know, the people that came out in Aba is more than the one. Pope is the president of the world. But the one that the people that came out in Aba were many, more than three times more than the people that came when Pope came. I don't have to waste time, but I'm very happy to speak to you and hear your voice. God is with you, and God will always bless you.
Thank you.
One thing I'm trying to tell you now is, you know, there's disaster in that country called whatever, the zoo called Nigeria. There's disaster. There's an appeal that you made not long ago, which you say those people like Magreke, they can come and join this if they want. We cannot even mention their name. This is one thing that is, if it is possible, please continue hitting, because they're ashamed of coming out. They are much ashamed. They can come through the back door. We can accept them. Just anytime you are preaching, just put that type of thing. Some of them will come up. Not they are happy where they are, but they have no alternative. They've made it to be shameful for them.
Thank you.
I pray that we have the opportunity to see you. You are more than a president already. You are more than which president that will be more than you? Somebody who has the will of people in his heart. The will, killings. When you go to talk to some people about Biafra, they were, after all, I'm in Europe. Well, yeah, you're in Europe. One day your mom and dad will be killed there. You still be in Europe, and you will never go. If you are here as a foreigner, you have passport, you have everything, but you don't have people. Who are you? God bless you, my brother. God bless you. Continue. You God is with you.
And you too. Thank you very much. That was Obijak. He was the one who actually drove some of the things that we packed into our container before we shipped the transmitter. That people who actually participated now said, not him, of course, that they are not sure if the container existed or not in the first place. The wickedness and the evil of man. Anyway, I've always known who they were from the beginning. I've always known them. Thank you very much. Felix Obijak is one of us. One of us, I say. One of us. Not something I say often, but he is indeed one of us. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. And heaven is, of course, presiding over what we are doing here. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Turn your radio down, please. I can hear it. Turn it down. Your name and where you are, please.
Yeah, I'm calling from Abakaliki. My name is Madabuchi.
Thank you very much. Madabuchi who? What is your surname? What is your father's name, please? That is the problem they are having. Some of them don't pay attention, then he'll be in a state of shock as he hears his voice. Because they don't listen, they don't pay attention. That was why we failed in 1967. That army was very good, but discipline wasn't very great. That was why you had many saboteurs. In some sectors, there was no fight at all. This army will be ruthless. We have volunteered ourselves to die for our country. Most army go to war to come back. We are going to die. Our enemies should be afraid. I tell you. They are the ones with something to lose. I'm a child of heaven. If I die, I go straight to heaven. I don't need passport. I don't need ticket to go there. Our enemies are those I feel sorry for. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? I have a caller on the phone. Can you hear me? You cannot hear me? No, I don't think they can. Sometimes these are new callers. They think that as soon as they pick up, they can hear their own voice. It doesn't work that way. You need to be a little bit patient, please. Speed of sound is simple physics. You cannot circumvent. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
A very good evening to you, my director.
Good evening, my dear brother. Your name and where you are, please.
Yeah, this is the voice of Pascal. I'm calling right now from but I hear from Njaba LGA, Imo State.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, my director, words cannot be enough to say thank you for what you are doing and you are still doing for the people of Biafra. And I will not fail to add my voice to billions of Biafrans that have been thanking you since we had our hero and heroine day. So since then, you know how difficult it is to come on air, but thank God today I'm on air speaking with you right immediately. So thank you, my director. And after the news headline this evening, you made a point for these, our brothers, that they have some of what we want, which is finance for us to, equip ourselves and make sure we burn this zoo down, which we are ready with the men are ground. You made a point there. That's why when sometimes I begin to think how the more times we come on we say all sort of, we don't like it, but they sponsor it behind their doors. They are the sponsors. But when they come on air in this zoo, trying to, convince people, make us believe that we are one Nigerian, they will say they despise Boko Haram, but they are the sponsors. They sponsor it through their back doors. They finance it. Why can't our people somehow replicate such type of sponsoring to the plight of their people? They can come and to us, negotiate with us through sponsoring us. We are going to do the job. Let us stay outside and watch. We are going to do. We have the men. We have everybody men that are going to do the job. So my people and fellow Biafrans, people should think toward that direction. We don't say for you people to come out. We are going to do it. You can leave this country. We are here and we're going to do it. And my director, I will thank you very much. We are behind you. We are listening and we are waiting for the day for you to say, give us command so that let's bring this zoo down. We must burn this zoo.
They know that.
To make us not burn this zoo.
They understand it very well. They understand it very, very well.
Yes.
We shall do so. Thank you very much for that. And excellently put. We must destroy the zoo. After we must have finished destroying it, we will pursue them. We will pursue them to wherever they go to the ends of the earth. No matter where they are. You know, we're in every country of the world. I feel sorry for them, honestly. I feel sorry for them. The only thing that can save them is to just leave us alone. Once they allow us to commit men to battle, we'll fight until everybody's dead. We'll pursue them to wherever they run to. We'll pursue them to any country. If they like, let them run into Alamo. Let them go to where the American treasury hides their bullion, their gold bullion. We'll find them there and kill them. We are not asking for anybody's land, territory, or resources. We are just asking to be left alone. Leave us alone. I was a Fulani. Do you know why why we want you to leave us alone? Because I want drinking water in my village. I want electricity. I want the children from Biafra land to go to school. I want to be able to drive all the way to Ogoja by 2 a.m. in the morning without anybody stopping me on the road or without me having the fear of being attacked by armed robbers. I want to be able to travel all the way to Nembe to Okreka to go and eat and come back to my house the same night, the same evening. I want people to be able to feed themselves and have dignity of life and not to be beggars on the streets. I want to be able to welcome somebody like Colin Powell into Biafra land. I want to welcome Danny Glover back to his village in Biafra land. I want to welcome Blair Underwood. You know him, Blair? I'm naming you, Igbo prominent people, back. You know Blair Underwood, the actor? I want these people to come back. There are American lawmakers who are Igbo. I'll be seeing them very shortly, of course. I want them to come back to the village and stay with us in the village and go back to America, and the black Americans will be very proud to say we are from Biafra. These are the things we want to do. And we cannot do these things if we are in one Nigeria. There are black people here in the United Kingdom that came via Jamaica. Most of them are from Biafra land. Nothing will give me joy than to see them come back to Biafra land and to stay there with their families. The white people keep insulting us that we are migrating all over the world. You know, stop them. African migrants, they're insulting us. They're putting us in prison. They're deporting us all the time. If you're not ashamed, I'm ashamed. When Biafra comes, such nonsense will no longer happen because people will be more content to stay in Biafra land than to go out and be humiliated. So the reason why we want Biafra is numerous, and it has to do with dignity and respect for life, human decency. In the zoo called Nigeria, we can never have it. There is no way I can be able to see in my lifetime a 100-story building in the zoo. It will never happen, but in Biafra land it will happen. Now you can see where we are going. I want to live in a country where there is 24-hour supply of electricity for everybody, not just for me, for everybody. I want a country whereby if I do something wrong, somebody walk up to me and tell me what you did is wrong, not minding my office or my station. I want a country where everybody is comfortable. Our daughters can go to school, be in boarding school, go to universities and come out without turning into harlots in the process. I want a country where our sons can be able to graduate from university as first-class students and not as first-class cultists. The zoo cannot give this to me. Only Biafra can. That is why I look for Biafra. And above all, because anytime Yahweh decides to come, he will first of all come to Biafra land as the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth. This also the zoo cannot give to me. Now you see why we want Biafra. It's beyond the comprehension of man. And that is why we praise Chukwuabiama in heaven. This is Radio Biafra. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, Director. Good evening, Director.
Good evening to you. Please turn your system down, walk away from where you are. It's a bit noisy. The time here now is a minute past 10 p.m. at night. Your name and where you are, please.
Director, my name is Sunday. I'm calling you from Port Harcourt. Yes, sir.
From Igwocha, not Port Harcourt, please. It's Igwocha and Igwocha.
From Igwocha,
please.
Director.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Director, I am sorry to tell you that we have happened in Igwocha here. We cannot hear you. We cannot. We have so many people are worried. We move from 88.0 to 19.5. Yeah, 19.5. We cannot get you.
Now go to listen. Go to 102.1. 102.1.
Okay.
102. Please tell your people in Igwocha. It is 102.1. For those of you of the Indomie generation, it is called Port Harcourt. For those of us who are very old, it is called Igwocha. Ali Igwocha is called. Igwocha is the name. Because the sand is white. The blessed children of the Most High. That is also Igbo land for your information. But because of stealing an abandoned property, they said we are no more part of the... You know, prodigal son. Once you have stolen your father's property, you've run away, you finish spending it. If they say, is this your father? You will say no, because you're guilty. But we are one family. All those houses in Igbo will be knocked down and built brand new with double cavity wall. Natural air condition. I don't want to stay in a country where the block Dangote cement will be suffocating me with heat every night. We don't want that. We are going to insulate our homes. We capture the heat from outside and transfer it upstairs using natural means alone. So it doesn't come in to the house. We will maintain a room temperature of 26 degrees at all times without the use of air conditioning. Our architects are working on it. Biafra is going to be so beautiful. If your food falls on the floor, you pick it up and eat. That is our job, and we're going to make it happen. We're not just looking for Biafra just for sake of looking for a country. We want to build the kingdom of heaven. Understand that? Some of them will say no, but in the end, we will win. I have a caller on the phone. I wonder where they are calling us from, but it is my presumption that they will tell me. Therefore, give us your name and where you are. The caller on the phone, please.
Good day, Director.
And bless you too. Go ahead.
Oh, my name is Obidja Kanselamugo.
And where are you calling from?
From Urumba North Local Government, Naija, precisely in Anambra State.
Thank you very much. Where are you right now? Where are you calling from right now, please, if you may?
Okay, I'm calling from Imo State.
Thank you. Where in Imo State? Where?
Precisely not where Olo area.
Olo area. Thank you. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. I want to thank you for the great work you are doing. By the grace of God, I'm a missionary.
Oh, you're a missionary.
And I thank God for what the Lord has been using you to do for the people of Biafra. I've been listening to you this broadcast for over 3 months now.
Wonderful.
And I've been doing all my best to get in touch, but tonight, God helped me to get through.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to say that every revelation or everything saying is accurate. As a missionary and as an apostle, God showed me a lot of revelations concerning the zoo and also concerning Biafra. And everything you've been saying for the 3 months I've been listening to you is absolutely correct.
Thank you.
And I want to say that God, who have given you this assignment, will give you all it takes to carry it forward in Jesus' name.
You say?
And I want to say that you are like a Moses, whom the Lord used to bring Israelites out of Egypt after 430 years in bondage. You know, when the people have stayed in bondage for a long time, most times they are brainwashed and they are somehow confused that even when you are telling them the truth, they may not realize that you are telling them the truth. But it takes people that are spiritual and they're very, very enlightened to know that what you're saying is very, very accurate and positive. So I want to say, you know, when Israelites were in bondage for 430 years, when Moses brought them out of that place, they were telling Moses, let us go back to that land because they were afraid. Because they had stayed so long in that bondage that they thought that was the best that God had for them. But they never knew that God had prepared a land flowing with milk and honey for them. All they needed was to follow the instruction of God and then his prophet and his servant. And I want to say that you are an apostle, you are a servant of the Most High God. No matter what people say or see, you are a spiritual person. And the map and the chart that God has given to you and the compass, he will lead you through. So I want to make a humble submission that I have been praying with you. I have been talking to people about the Biafra radio. In fact, I have become an emissary for you and for the Biafra nation. Anywhere I go, I talk to people about this Biafra. At the time when they see me, they say, Biafra, what is happening again?
It's a very good thing.
In fact, one of them saw me the other day and said, what about the baboons and the monkeys? So, Director, I want to tell you that I'm very happy for what the Lord is doing with you. And even this evening, I was arguing with some of my people who were saying the Sabbath day, the Sunday, or whatever. And I showed them in the Bible that the seventh day that God made is Saturday.
It's on a Saturday.
Saturday is the 7th day that God made for rest.
Of course. It's Saturday.
Because they think that the first day of the week is Monday. No,
it is not.
The first day of the week is Sunday.
Of course, it is Sunday. Yes.
So when God started creating on Sunday, He ended on Saturday, and that Saturday happened to be the day He rested, which is the Sabbath day.
That is
correct. But because the Roman people changed the whole service to Sunday, they now thought that is the right thing.
What you're saying, my dear brother, is correct. It's also, the Gregorian calendar, the Roman calendar that we're using today, where Julius Caesar, who answers July, and the cousin Augustus, who is the month of August, they gave themselves months because they saw themselves as deity, they saw themselves as gods. You see, that is the mistake. The month, a year should be 13 months. A year should be 13 months, not 12. Because the essence of a month means phases of the moon. The moon comes out every 28 days according to the cycle of women as well. People must understand it. All these are spiritually connected, of course. On average, I must say some women, of course, is different. On average, the cycle of a woman is 28 days. The same time with the cycle of the moon. With the same time,
I'm listening to
you. The same thing with nature itself. The moon comes out every 28 days. For a woman to produce a child, her cycle has to come every 28 days. And people are asking me, are you sure that Chukwukikabiam exists? And I'm saying to them, can't you see the connectivity in nature? Even nature says so. It is meant to be 13 months in a year. The Europeans brought it down to 12. Can we keep Nefaros every Sunday? Very sad indeed. Please continue.
Indeed, my director, I want to tell you that this great privilege I have to speak with you today. I'm so happy. On that 30th May, I was not in Aba, but I was monitoring every proceeding there. In fact, I loaded my phone with 1,500 and was calling somebody who was inside. He was giving me beat-by-beat report. Because people were telling me, are you sure this man is going to come? Are you sure he's going to be there? I said, look, the way this man is talking on the radio, I have been a preacher for over 20 years now. When I see somebody who is talking tough and who is talking through knowledge and understanding and history, because apart from theology and other studies, history is my favorite subject. So when I see somebody getting through history of the world and the country and everything, I know where he's coming from and where he's going to. And for the past months I've been listening to you, I couldn't fault you, not even one bit. So I monitor the whole proceedings and I said to my people, this guy must come. He must come because I know that he's talking from the point of view of knowledge and from the spiritual point of view. He's going to be there. And when you eventually came there, I want to tell you that the greatest score you made was being present in that CKC. And that have now gingered the hope and aspirations of our people. And everyone, both in Aba and everywhere we were listening. Let me tell you, the people that came to Aba is just 10% of people that were monitoring the program all over Nigeria.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, the people that were monitoring you were more than 10 times or 20 times than the people you saw on ground. So I want to tell you that you should keep on doing the good work.
Of course.
God Almighty will be with you and strengthen you. This nation called the Zoological Republic has expired from all analysis from 1914 to 213. 100 years has expired.
It's gone.
And the document says that after 100 years, there should be a review. And the review is that the people are not comfortable, the Biafrans are not comfortable in that unholy marriage. Therefore, God Almighty has to intervene. Thank you very much, and I do hope I will get you some other time.
Thank you very much for calling, and thank you so much for such an enlightenment. Anything we say we are going to do, we do. The only reason why we will not burn the zoo down is that they just hands off and say, "Ndia bro wahangawa, take your trouble and go." Any attempt to stop the emergence of Biafra will be resisted. And I will tell our enemies what we are going to do before we do, because I love it. As I told you before, I love saying what I'm going to do. So I hate to fight like a coward in me. So you come as a coward in the middle of the night. You don't believe that rubbish. We will pursue you to any country you're in the world. We'll kill you and we'll kill your family. Understand it very well. My own I have sacrificed already. As simple as that. Are you prepared to sacrifice yours? Because there is nothing I will not sacrifice for Biafra. There is nothing. Heaven knows there is nothing I will not give for Biafra. Oh my goodness me. They don't know who we are, do they? They're about I said we'll be worse than Boko Haram by the time we are done. I am telling you in advance so you can do the best thing you can do ever to stop us. So that by the time we are scoring successes against you, I will enjoy it more. That's why I like to make people think that they can stop us. Because we're unstoppable. I give you the impression that you can. And I want you to try the best you can. You will bury child after child until you're tired. It won't touch you, but you will bury everything that you gave birth to. To tell you that in your next life, if you hear the word of Biafra, now also. I told them, if you want to, let us say that I'm just talking for the sake of it because I'm on radio. Go and touch one IPOB member. Touch anybody that attends IPOB meeting. Your history will be told over and over again. Then you know how serious we are. That when we say on the one Nabala, so that we mean it. Try and see what will happen to you. Please, just try. We are begging you. Try. And when an army commanded by 17 commanders descend upon you, then you will know that this life is indeed not a very kind place for idiots to be in. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Please give us your name.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, it's Apostle Nehemiah.
I like that name. I like your name. Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Aba.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Go ahead, please.
I'm from Diawisu, Chumunoche, Adia State.
Thank you.
Biafra land.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm here to encourage you, sir. I'm very happy for what you have been doing for us. I'm here to encourage you also because what happened when the children of Israel went to exile to Babylon for 70 years, those that think that they have succeeded in Babylon, they remain and lost their race, their tribes. This is the reason some of our politicians that think that they have succeeded in the zoo, they don't want to show up. They are just messing themselves up. They are thinking that Biafra will not come. But through my revelation, I saw it 2 years ago before I started listening to Radio Biafra. I saw it clear. It's just like during the time of footballing. When goal is scored, people will be jumping up and down, embracing each other. I saw it, all the road were full of people rejoicing, embracing each other. So it have happened, that God have done it, and so shall it be. And God Almighty will really encourage you and will help you. Don't relent. They will soon come. They will follow back yet to come. Because you are the need of the hour, and God has prepared you to use you to take us to the promised land. Really, actually,
yes, please.
It's what they're calling me, Biafra man. As I've been going around preaching the gospel, I'm also educating people, tell them about Biafra. And then even today, where I came from, they gather together, begin to minister to them about the Biafra. We are not relenting. We are not going back. We must preach Biafra until Biafra comes. God bless you, sir.
And you too. Ozioma Chineke. We spread the gospel of the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth. The gospel of light. The gospel of truth. Ever since we have been preaching, have we ever asked you to go and commit anybody to believe in what we believe in? By force, the answer is no. Have we ever asked you to go and take one piece of territory that doesn't belong to you? The answer is no. That was the mistake that Nnamdi Azikiwe made. Agi Ironsi made the same mistake. Chukwuma Nzogwu made the same mistake. Nwafo Rizu made the same mistake. Ekwueme made the same mistake, and all the rest of them. And because of the representations we have been receiving from all and sundry regarding the plight of these our lost brothers and sisters in government in the Zoological Republic, let me say this to them this evening. You don't know who you are. That is why you keep sheepishly. That is why I have no regard for anybody who tells me that our future lies in one Nigeria. And I will tell you why. Very simply. You see, we are like the Israelites. I want people who don't know the word of the Most High, to go and read the scriptures very well, please. Israel never went to serve in any land that they did not have dominion over. There was no ruler, no judge or king of Israel that went to preside over the affairs of a foreign country. I want you to check the whole of your Bible, from the old version to the new one they publish these days. Anytime an Israeli king or judge went to war, after you must have won, you go back to Israel. You don't stay in a foreign land. That original map that Chukwu Okike Abiyama gave his children, don't go away from it. That was why I knew. I was very small when I read about the history of Mbono Jike and Nnamdi Azikiwe. I won't tell you how young I was. But when I read the versions of, or the roles that these men played, these two men played, because they're already in America, two of them, Nnamdi Azikiwe and Mbono Jike, one thing struck me. I took to Mbono Jike immediately. Mbono Jike told Nnamdi Azikiwe that one Nigeria will not work. As young as I was then, I knew the man was speaking the truth. It was only later that events, especially from the Bible, began to convince me that anybody, if you're a Biafran going to serve in one Nigeria, you will come back with shame and disgrace. I did not learn that from anybody. I did not learn it from historical precedent. I read it from what happened inside the scriptures. When I was asking Chukwu Okike Abiyama to reveal things to me that I may know. Anytime he gives you a place, if you leave that place to go and rule our Fulani Yoruba people, you will come back as a failure, as a disaster. Go and check. That is why there is no, till that kingdom come, you will always come back in shame. Do you see the amount of disgrace that Jonathan came back with? There is no zoo president who has ever had it before. Do you see Alice and Madueke? The amount of disgrace they're heaping on her. Our people don't learn. Chukwu Okike Abiyama said, within Biafra you have everything. We are the only people exclusively that has a lake. I want you to know this now very, very well. I'm still researching. If there are other ones, please tell me. Exclusively, we have a lake. Uguta Lake belongs to Biafra land. It is not in a border. We are not sharing it with anybody. I want you to name a lake again in Africa that is exclusive to a particular people. Not as a border. Because if you mention Lake Chad belongs to how many countries? Is it 4 or 5? Do you have any lake in Yoruba land? Do you have any lake in Awasa land? Do you have any lake that is exclusively owned in Fulani land? The answer is no. We have hills. We have valleys. I'm sure you've heard about Udi Hills. Haven't you heard about that before? We have, Chukwu Abiyama is trying to tell you that everything is complete in his kingdom. There is nothing you're looking for that you cannot find. Everything you want, including iron ore, there is nothing you want you cannot find there. What are you looking for outside is what he doesn't understand. That was why Mbono Jike was right and Azikiwe was. And why did Mbono Jike die? He went to swear ROC that Zik did not steal money from ACB Bank. But now the Azikiwe that some of you are jumping up and down for stole money from ACB. Are you aware of that? Africa Continental Bank? I'm not sure you're aware of it. And do you know that? Oh, I don't know how to enlighten these people. Go and study, please. Go and read history. The name that you were talking about. He was behaving like any other politician in the zoo. He took money from ACB. He didn't pay back. Mbono Jike traveled to Calabar, went and swore ROC that Nnamdi Azikiwe was clean. Mazi Mbono Jike died at the age of 40. This is Radio Biafra.
Hello, I'm listening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Please, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Nnamdi, this is Nnamdi Nwachukwu. I'm calling from about Osioma
Egade, you share my name.
Yes, sir. I called you before. There was a time I made some comments. Now, there is an observation because I've been following your everything you are teaching. This is teaching gospel. Now, do you know, I wonder why this so-called Niger Delta, look at Ikwere, I, Igbo, I, Ibibio, I, Igala, I, Isoko, I, what's your name again? Idoma, I,
Ishekiri.
All of them, God himself, Chukwuadema never made any mistake by giving us lining it up that way. But they don't think, they don't reason. They don't reason. I started following and I realized this. Again, sir, I want to comment. Look at our Igbo. I told you last time that Igbo is a problem. It's like you shifted a little. You said something, but you said, but this is the truth. Look at Hausa man, Fulani, if I can say. Fulani is a president. Saraki, Hausa, Senate president. His guy is not taking himself. Do you know that Buhari is the petroleum minister? He made himself. This is the time for Igbo to say, oh yeah, let's go and become Biafra. Let's go and get our own country. But Igbo man is our own. We are the problems to ourselves. And that will make the work, the vision that God has given to you to linger. That is what I'm praying for. All the whole gospel I'm preaching is that alone, telling people, hold their head and let it sink, let it enter them. But however, sir, we will win because the mouth you are using to hear, all the speeches you are making is really destroying things in Nigeria. Seriously speaking, this man you called the other time, you called look at exactly what is happening to him. This other man, there's a man you mentioned. Say, don't they tell him? Look at it's befalling him. That's what you've been telling him. Look at what is befalling him. This is a prophet. Nobody will ever say it's not a prophecy. Oh, in all your endeavor. Oh, bless you. We're behind you. We're watching. The whole world, humanity is watching. God bless you, sir.
And you too. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for that. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. We have gone past our time, but we are proceeding with our gospel this very evening. I have a caller on the line. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. What is your name and precisely where are you calling us from?
My name is Delid Chinaza. I'm calling from Abba.
Thank you. Abba is way too strong. Enyimba, too powerful. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, you strike so much. We thank you for everything you do. Now, see, Biko, is it possible to tell our people in the north to come back home?
No, they are sacrificial lamb. They should kill them there. They are the sacrificial lamb. Somebody has to pay. They are the sacrificial lamb. Allow them to be slaughtered. That in their next life, when they hear a clarion call, they will listen to it. They will be killed in Ugwawasa. That is their lot, and that is their inheritance. They will die there. Please go ahead.
Now, another thing is this. The effect of our brothers and sisters, if you tell them that let us wait and hope on God that this thing will come out, but they will continue to say, no. And I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and she was telling me that it is in this generation that Biafra will come. And I was telling her that, watch out and see. Unless, please, our brothers should realize that when the 12 spies were asked to go and look at the land that the Lord had given unto them, all of them went. It was only Joshua and Caleb that insisted that this land that the Lord has given to inherit, we will inherit it. Others were trying to spend them. What God did on their side, they themselves that have their lives the essence of our father's promise. They take to it and work towards it to make sure that this thing comes to pass. My prayer to our people is that they should change their mode of thinking. They should change the mode of thinking.
You are correct. You are very, very correct. And that mood of way of thinking is exactly what we are doing here. Changing how our people think and changing how they do things. That is precisely what we are doing, and we are grateful, my dear brother. Thank you very much for that very brilliant and wonderful call that you have placed to us this very evening. I told you before that everything we say here is correct. There is nothing you hear on Radio Biafra that is not correct. Everything you hear us say is correct. And Chukwu Okike Abiama, if man cannot bear us witness, is witnessing what we are saying in heaven. Yesterday was the 8th day of June. I reported a news here that says unpaid salaries. Winners Chapel rallies food aid for Oshun workers. I thank my news hound Oge Azike for sending this to me as I asked him to do earlier. And please, this is from yesterday, the same newspaper, Punch newspaper, please, from yesterday. The state, listen, it's called the state pastor of the Living Faith Church, also known as Winners Chapel, Osogbo, Olumuyiwa Emmanuel, on Sunday made a passionate appeal to members of the church to start bringing foodstuffs and money to assist members who are civil servants who have not been paid for their salaries in the last 7 months. This was yesterday. By the time we covered this very news and hammered them very much, because Igbos are going to pay, of course, Biafrans will contribute money to pay Yoruba workers. Today, that news changed. This was yesterday. Here is the same newspaper today. Khan solicits food for Oshun workers. They have changed the story. To read, the Christian Association of the Zoo of Nigeria, of course, has appealed to church leaders in Oshun State to rally. So, if we then come here to criticize them for what they don't say, no. It was Christian Association of Nigeria that asked church leaders. When did this news happen? It came up today. If you don't have any reason to support Radio Biafra, you must support us because the enemies are afraid. They are on the retreat. They changed their news because of us. Now is the time for us to strike home our advantage. If at all we understand what pressing home an advantage means. If at all we understand it. The enemies are being defeated and routed on every front. They are on the retreat. We must pursue them and annihilate them. It's only Radio Biafra. Imagine what will happen when our TV is talking. We can win this war very simply by insisting upon the truth. And was it not the Bible that said the truth shall set you free? Oh, we are imagining akwụkwọ nsọ kwuru okwu sị na ị ga-amara nke bụ eziokwu, eziokwu a ga-adọpụta gị n'ohu. You will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Before now, nobody dared speak the truth for fear of their lives or what may happen to them. We came and we are speaking the truth, and that truth you will see will set you free. If they tell you before that Yorubas will change their news item because of us, will you believe that? The answer is no. But we're forcing them to do so. That goes to show that the truth is working. This is Radio Biafra. Let us go and take one of two of your calls before we call it quits, please, because and we are trying the best we can to see if we can recover to present our programs in the morning, which we shall try to do. Of course, it is our responsibility and duty, and we must serve you. We must serve you. Only people calling from back home all the time. I love that. Yes, the caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, name is Onekachi.
Onekachi who?
Yeah, Onekachi, nowhere Opera.
Thank you. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm from Imo in Biafra land.
Where in Imo State are you calling from, please? Where are you?
Yeah, this is Mbitolu, but I'm from Gobara.
Thank you, Mbitolu. Thank you. Please go ahead.
So my director, I'm so grateful get to today. Since I was trying a number throughout last 4 months, I did not get to. But I'm so happy lucky. Because what they are doing, because what they are doing is very, very good. Because without two people cannot open their eyes, people cannot see. Because some people have planned since how many years? There's two people have seen, and people have whatever is happening this soon. They call themselves Nigerian. They are very, very stupid people. They will say the truth and call it, but not say it. But I thank God have reason to open people their eyes, to make people to see, to know that there's something they call Biafran. That Biafran before Nigeria. But people don't understand. Because when you're telling people that using that you are this man, this idiot, whatever they call themselves, was ike. If one of them, you come and make money. If you make money, finish, you just close your mouth. And on that say people come and again and talk about Biafra, the reason that make money. I say no, you're not was ike. You are the only person God choose who's going to make us to be free in the hand of Nigeria people. They say no, you're one of them. I say okay, watch and see. You're going to see something going to happen on Saturday, on that date of Saturday of that month. See, if you want to believe that Biafra must come to about on that date of that month. Some people come, they believe that yes, you are one of them. You are one of the really best God choose who's going to deliver Biafra people. So I'm so happy that people that confess and say yes, you are the right person. They are giving testimony everywhere in Igbo. They are giving testimony everywhere. They are preaching about Biafra, about you. So I'm very, very happy, my director. So continue doing whatever you're going to do. People will bless you. Nothing will happen to you. I think that one day Biafra will come.
It's coming.
That was one day.
Very imminent.
One day.
Very imminent. Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you very, very much. Biafra coming is not in doubt. What is in doubt is your state of preparedness. Are you prepared to build for 75 years? For 24 hours every blessed day? Because some people think that Biafra comes and then we slacken and then we relax. That is when the work begins. In most major cities in Biafra land will be demolished and rebuilt. Iguacha will be rebuilt. Calabar will be rebuilt. Enugu will be rebuilt. Aba will be demolished completely and rebuilt from scratch. Rebuilt. That if you enter into Aba, it will be made very, very beautiful. And are you afraid of hard work? The answer is no. And where are we going to get all these things to build it from? Of course, we have cement, which is limestone at Nkalago. We have stone from Lord Uku, as we've been told. We have black and white marble, the same thing from the Izar region in the same Ebonyi. Mind you, we have water everywhere, don't we? We have bitumen all across Biafra land to build our roads. We don't need to import anything. And we have the scientists. All of you in America will come back. Those of you in Europe, everybody will come back so we can build 24 hours a day. Sewage system. I want to see a 100-story building in my lifetime in Biafra land before I die. So when I see Chukwuabiam, I say that work you asked me to go and do, we did it. That is all I want to say when I see him. You asked us to do something and we've done it. That means that our life actually had purpose to it. That not only are we not lucky, or are we lucky, I should say, to be born, not to, because you have to be unlucky to be born into the zoo. I wasn't born into the zoo anyway, for your information. But that you understood your mission and you executed it, and it was successful. The greatest achievement that man can ever accomplish. This is Radio Biafra, live and direct. Why? Because we are speaking the truth. And that truth is going to set us free. Watch and see. You may not like it, but that is your cook. And it set you free. Don't worry about that. The caller on the phone. Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother. Good evening, my brother.
Good evening to you. What is your name? What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ifani Ojuku. I am from Oaketiti. I'm now living at Ekulobia.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I thank God for you once again.
Because since we are trying to hear from you, but we don't hear from you, and we are surprised, and we are afraid, and say, what is happening? What's happening? Until a day, I heard your voice again, and now I heard that you went to London. I thank God for you, and I believe that God is doing something marvelous, that people will see with their eyes, and they will surprise what God is doing. Because you are a teacher. I said you are my teacher. And you have taught many of us what we did not know. You have let us to understand what is our right. You have let us to understand where we are being deceived. But this time around, in fact, when somebody listens to you, when a man who calls himself a man, a born Biafran man, listening to your voice and fail to understand that this is the truth, that person is a fool forever. And in this whole thing that is happening, we know that the rich men in our land, Biafran land, they are there. And please, I want to speak in Igbo. But if I will me, how much he one night working the Ubeshoku. And the actual Kamatana, or when you Buna, we can now only about the region. I don't want to hear also Rania. Goma, na bocha, and then put I need the Abuko, Nanaguga, I need the Abuko theological school, and I could say, Kalende the theological school now. Kalende the Bible in a town, that's the same Bible. They send them over. And the one that look at Kumoto and they also make a matter that in a Ebobune Josioma wherever, Obuna never told Joma. Oh, we don't bury her. My open and down about our summer. Could I say that to get up on that? Can I beg you? Go to your home. Forget about them. In a small, they rejected the good news. When I what do you think? Can you fool the nature of Saria? Don't try to let away. You didn't say in what to go when it's self is about self photo. Obonye ejisi sefoto je bukuri sima sefoto ke konya sima chuku kele konya sima chuku kele konya sima chuku onye butaru no wele siunu wele kokoro wele sefoto mara ke onye kita na suni so fa na so ejo zoma yana kita bagare ebi jero zoma to wosi jawara ebi jero zoma to wosi jawara o me kwele na bata be woro mo bupichi maka na tori di ku. This is the foundation. Don't take the top. Never do the paper. General room. Room because ever got in the street in Alahola. For the book of sugar and then we've got it. And that's from Kavata. That's enough. If I need to get that, you need to be how my name. Nyaka wana nyoke jere ni Israel onyaka akwụkwọ wee chọpụta ezi ihe Chukwu were gaa n'Israel were hụta etu esi efe Chukwu dị ndụ ọbụrụ na-agba God of Israel ọbụrụ na-agba God of Israel ụna na-ejezikwa asịrị that na-agara ebe a wee kpee ekpere n'ime temple Israel were kụwa akwụkwọ the main truth dị ebe awa were hụta maka na ndị ọcha na-egosi ụlọ etu ahụ o si dị n'Israel ndị ọcha ahụ na-ekwu ha wetara anyị ozi ọma kwa ndị Israel adịrị mma anyị na-abụ God of Israel God of Israel ndị ọcha wee na-awụsi anyị wee tinye na anyị Sọnde wee na-ekpe ahụsifa a na-akpọ Son God wee na-ịbatazie ijete na-echukwu otuto na chọọchị ị na-echete Chukwu ka wee jee na secret place gbasara arụsị aka si arịrị otuto na-epụta ihe otuto. Okay, ndị ọcha ahụ ekeziri ozi ọnwa ahụ kelezi ka ha si ebi ndụ kwụsị na ha abụ ụmụ Chukwu mana gị bụ nwere ebe a na-aza Nwachukwu na-aza Okechukwu ebere Chukwu achọrọ ka ndị uwe n'oge ka unu wee nwee ike wee ghọta that ihe na-eme too much. Adazie ndị Arabia na-eme credit ma agwụ na but nsogbu adịrị ya. I want to tell you, my brother, people are listening to you. You have competitors. Imekwe ka anyị nwere eziokwu onye mmiri riri ya nwụrụ, onye si na mmiri ga-eri ya nwụọ. Imekwe onye eziokwu ana isogbu n'azụ. Chukwu apịa maka gọzie gị. N'aha Chukwu apịa.
Sọsọ ise of ndụ onye nwe m na Chineke, which means my Lord and my God. That's the meaning of it. We have come to preach the truth and nothing but the truth. Some of you don't know that during the Spanish Inquisition, that Europeans tried to forcibly convert Jews to start following their idol. And being like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they said, we will not worship any other God apart from the Most High Adonai, Chukwu Okike Abiama in heaven. Most of them were put to death. Spanish Inquisition. Go and research. Do you know how many times Israelites have been killed because they don't want to abandon Chukwu Okike Abiama? You don't know. They did the same thing to you. As our brother said, they brought you the Bible that is true. It's like somebody bringing you a refinery only to steal your crude oil and go to their land. The same thing. There is no difference. They came to steal. Do they go to church? The answer is no. These days, very, very soon, they will write again in their new revised version of the Bible that man can marry man, woman can marry woman. And who knows, if you don't save your children, in time to come, they'll be preaching this same rubbish to their children. That is why anytime you're in doubt, you go back to the original source. Go back to the definition of anything, any discipline you're talking about, for fear of digressing away from point, or writing or speaking out of turn. What is your name? Chukwuma, Chidiebere, Chibuikem. What does that mean? Hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. Did anyone bother asking Yahweh, why did he say, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name? You don't want to ask, do you? Because you're afraid of what you find. I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for being merciful to us, for being kind to us, for being very loving, for finding us worthy to be called his children. We give him praise. For finding us worthy to be called his own. I made a mistake actually. Somebody telling me there's a lake in Agolo. There is a lake at Nike. Is that correct? How many lakes do we have? Plenty. Plenty. You are blessed. But do you know you are blessed? The fact is that some of you don't know. Can you ask a white man somewhere in Rome or Canterbury? Ask the white man, do you have any place at all in Italy, the whole of Italy, the whole of Europe, that the name of a village is the children of God? Umuchukwu or Mobas. Can you ask them, please? You see, the answer is no. But my name is, I'm from Umuchukwu. Then how can you know God more than I am? More than I am. I don't understand. So are you saying that if I'm not the child of God, how can I be called the son of God? Movie. You don't know who you are because you don't know who you are. Why do you think Chukwuabiama is upset with you? I gave you intellect, I gave you land, I gave you coal, I gave you limestone, I gave you oil, I gave you bauxite, I gave you gold, I gave you iron ore, I gave you a stretch of the ocean, I gave you mountains, I gave you hills, I gave you lakes. What have I not done for you? All I ask you to do is to worship me in truth and honesty, and I will restore your inheritance. Even that you can't even do. You choke or I don't know, people. I'm glad you have listened, and everywhere there is Radio Biafra. Why is that? Because we speak the truth. Because the scriptures told me that we will know the truth, and the truth will set us free. And that truth is unshackling the chains of bondage around our ankles and our wrists. Our people are beginning to reason. We have nothing against anybody. As I said before, I love Bishop Obin, Archbishop actually, very much. I have nothing against anybody. But one thing is certain, the truth must prevail. And our forefathers were saying it before the white man came. Do you know that's the funniest part of it? Our forefathers were saying even before the white man came. And on that very tenet we stand. Not only that, we also believe in everybody go choir, which means live and let live. That means that somebody from Isoko cannot cheat somebody from a bargain and get away with it. We are all one family, indivisible, under the grace of heaven. And that is why Biafra is going to come. Because Chukwu Abiyama said, made a promise. He said, if you come back to me, I will give you your inheritance. Our inheritance is Biafra, of course, his own kingdom on this earth. We have gone back to him. I know if the answer is no. It doesn't mean that Yahweh Yeshua is not the son of man. Of course he is. Did he come to sacrifice for us? Yes. Did he give his life? Yes, I agree. Completely and in total. Complete. But you don't worship him. He said every honor and glory goes to the Father. He opened his mouth and said so. If you worship him, you're worshiping idol. And he's upset with you. His name is Yahweh Yeshua and not Jesus. For your information. This is Radio Biafra. We thank you for having listened to us this very evening. We are concluding our evening edition now. We have overrun by a couple of minutes. Very nearly, or should I say, 20 more minutes and we'll be here for 4 hours. I sat here from 6 this evening. And we are still here. Working for you and serving you in truth and honesty. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the morning, I will let you know. But go and spread this gospel. Tell them that the kingdom of heaven is coming. And the name is Biafra. Tell them that we cannot all be killed. Let them know that we have come that life may be spread more abundantly amongst those of them that believe in the redemption of the children of the Most High. Tell them never to forget what our name is. That anybody who is running and you come to join us is welcome, no matter who you are. Tell them that is where we are, Biafra. Come and join if you want to. As long as you're honest, as long as you're truthful, as long as you're upright, that Chukwu Okike Abiyama may love thee. That is why to us, Biafra is much more than a nation. It is not even a country. To us, it is our religion. And here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. Why do we do so? Because Chukwu Okike Abiyama is our creator. And we worship him, we adore him, and we exalt him. That is why he is going to bless you. That is why Chukwu Okike Abiyama will protect you and your families wherever you are. And more importantly, will bless Biafra by giving it to us, that we may worship him. I want to build a house to the Lord made of stone, not of Dangote cement, sand mixed with water. How can I build it if there is no Biafra? How can we worship him in a strange land? How is that possible? Biafra is his kingdom on earth. How can we be outside worshiping him? It's not possible. That's why Biafra will come. And we'll be glad that it came in our lifetime. I thank you all for listening. If you can, join us tomorrow morning. But of course, we'll be here tomorrow evening, unfailingly, by his grace, of course. From me, from here, good evening.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and cherish. We have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. defend from all our foes.